Good morning, people. It is Tuesday, the 10th of September. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favourite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And as always, you are hosted by the best in the business.
Right at the top of the show, sorry about that. That was my phone. Y'all can join on the Discord. It will just be myself and Margs in the building today. We're gonna go up, down, all around. Before we jumped on air, Margs was there cussing Emmanuel from pillar to post.
I was just saying he's a spiritualist.
Spiritualist.
He's spiritual rather than religious, I think. Because that's the...
Can you not be both?
Huh?
Can you not be both?
What, spiritual and religious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is spiritual? How will you define it?
So he obviously he sees himself as Christian anyway, so I'm guessing he believes in the Holy Spirit.
Don't just put it as a default. Don't just assume, sir. He's not here to speak for himself, so don't say that.
I would say spirit.
It could be an indictment on his standing. Don't say he would see himself as Christian. Don't say that. Don't just assume.
Okay, well, I believe he believes in, God, the Abrahamic ones.
Okay.
And
Ones.
One, sorry.
Okay.
The Abrahamic one.
Yeah.
I believe he believes in God, and he has a connection with the spiritual sides of the religious, but I don't think he follows that.
Don't brush over that.
I don't think he follows the rules of like religion. You get what I'm trying to say? Do you know, like the rules, whatever rules his religion's got, I don't think he follows the rules properly. So that's why I can say like he doesn't really, the religion doesn't really.
Oh, so you're saying with spirituality, because you're defining spirituality right now. Spirituality is when it is that you believe in a higher power, but it is that you make your own rules. Is that what you're saying?
I suppose that's a simplistic way of putting it.
I asked you to simplify it.
You just done it for me. I suppose that could kind of.
All right, so that's what you think Emmanuel is?
Huh? Yeah.
All right. So all of the reading that he's been doing on all of the Abrahamic faiths and even his traditional religion, you think that's he's just using that as bedtime reading?
No. He's drawing something from it.
So you're saying he pick and choose?
Definitely, he must be picking and choosing. Because even when he talks about the brotherhood of
Nation of Islam.
Even when he talks about the nation, he always clings onto the pro-black side of things that they do. That's what's drawn to him, innit?
Yeah.
So he's already picking and choosing. He picks and chooses different things from different religions that he rocks with, that he can subscribe to.
So you're saying that he likes Islam, but only the nation's edition?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's already picking and choosing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you're not allowed to do that.
How? What do you say you're not allowed to do that? Who told you that you can't do that?
Well, there's the rules in the book. You have a Muslim, the
But
Quran,
he's
or the Bible.
He's writing his own book, though.
Huh?
He's writing his own book.
So that speaks to what I'm saying. He's not on a religion thing.
But if he's writing his own book, then surely he's starting his own religion.
Oh.
Isn't that what you're saying? These are the rules of my religion. So you can pick and choose, pick and mix.
Oh my God. He's trying to build a cult.
This is why he needs his platform.
That's what he's doing every morning, trying 100%. To build a cult.
And you're not tuned into it.
I'm not joining the cult, though.
Can you join a cult, though? Or can you start a cult? You know, some people don't like how it is I give you your flowers.
Why?
They see it as me stroking your ego. And it's not necessary. And it gives them the ick.
Does it?
To them, yeah, apparently they cringe when it is I compliment or affirm something dope that you've done or a thought that you've managed to do that nobody else in the world could possibly like generate in such a short span of time.
They're just haters. I don't need my ego stroking.
What?
I said they're just haters. Because I don't need my ego stroking. It wouldn't be stroking my ego. You know I don't need my ego stroking.
Yeah, I don't. Obviously, I do, and I do to any and everybody. If it's something like spins me, I'm like, whoa, that was good. I wouldn't just keep it. Do you understand? I think that is such a selfish thing to do. Such a hater spirit for me to be gingered by something and not basically, yeah, man.
No,
and it's not just you. I'll do it to anybody. Like sometimes I do it to Taser. I'm like, hey, how you just came to that? That's brilliant. And I keep it moving. But apparently it gives people the ick.
It's like what you're saying. It's a hating spirit.
I believe it is.
Some people got hating spirit.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
But not Emmanuel. And I believe Emmanuel will not allow haters in his religion. Because you have to be open-minded. Oh, you think he will allow haters? Or the outsiders?
How open-minded do you have to be? You have to be one-track minded.
His track.
Yeah.
But his track
not open-minded.
equates to a pick and mix of all the different tracks. So, open-minded, but not outside of what he decides you to think about.
Yeah, that could work. I don't think you could be open-minded. You need to...
What do you think he wanted to be called? Sire? If he was, if he were to basically have a title,
he would be like, Sire could work. He'd want to be like the chieftain or something. Like the...
I don't think he will let people call him chief.
Nah,
that's got his history already.
Baron... Is a Baron high?
Baron.
He'd want something that sounds like...
But Baron doesn't sound lofty. Baron sounds empty.
No, but Baroness.
See where you went there? That feminine energy that you just... he wouldn't be like...
What, you don't like Baroness?
I love Baroness.
What are we doing here? What's wrong with Baroness?
I love feminine titling.
What's the opposite of Duchess? Duke?
And I don't think he would... Because that's too imperialist, too...
Yeah. It's too colonial. Way too... Yeah. Well, I don't know the names.
I told you, Sire.
Now, he'll do like a tribe thing. What's the Yoruba man called? What's the leader of the Yoruba man? Like... Look at your face. He was thinking, do I go here?
No.
You're so serious.
No.
I see the cogs in your head turning. He's saying,
Emperor's a good shout.
Emperor.
Fernand said Emperor.
Yeah.
Fernand said Emperor. Lord. He might go for Lord.
But that gives like white man though.
Lord. Fair.
It does, isn't it?
Yeah. Lord Farquaad. yeah, it does.
Emperor. I can see Emperor. It's so...
But for you definitely think that...
I just had an image of E-Man in like... Can't you do but the AI draw up like in that golden thing. Like moving like Eddie Murphy and Remember the Time. I literally just pictured him doing that. He needs to do that for like Halloween or something.
Oh man, how tall was Eddie?
I'm not sure.
He's taller than Emmanuel.
I don't know.
He's taller than Kevin Hart.
Eddie's not... Who, Eddie? Is Emma taller than Kevin Hart?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to be, man.
He's sure?
He's got to be. Have we got a Halloween party?
When is Halloween?
30th.
Of what?
October.
And what day is that?
Wednesday. We would have the 25th, the Friday before.
Then we could definitely do a themed one, innit? That would be sick.
We could.
That would be sick.
We really good.
We're doing it.
Should we do it?
We're doing it.
The email's got to dress up like an emperor.
I wonder what colour he's gonna use.
Should we do it, yeah?
No, 100%. 100%.
Fancy dress, and you can only be black people from history.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah?
Yeah.
Can that work?
Yeah. I'm gonna dress like Kunta Kinte. Sackcloth and ashes. I'm coming barefoot too.
Shall we get into our headlines?
Yeah. So I have somebody sent in an email
Complaining.
Huh?
Complaining.
No. They seem to think that. I know you haven't been following track, but ever since the episode that you said you have to pay for every time you swear, I've been keeping note on Excel, seeing as I'm a TDA fan and I've watched every episode since number 234. Apparently, Margs, let me know if it is that you feel this is close to the truth. You've had 534 offences of cussing. Swear words. Right? So you've taken the trophy, right? Esther has had 393 offences.
But we didn't say we weren't going to swear. It was what a certain word. It wasn't just swear. Did we
Yeah,
say
it's the N-word.
I ain't said the N word 500 times, brother.
No, but they've assumed that we said swearing.
Oh, okay.
It's the N-word that we said. We agreed on an N-word.
Yeah, but they're
But
saying
they've
swearing.
basically noted down all the swearing, right?
I don't think I swear, you know.
What does that mean?
I don't swear. What swear did I say? Like shit. That's what I probably say the most.
You say B?
What's B? Oh, okay. Not a lot. Bitch. I don't say bitch that much. It's in my wheelhouse.
You know, there's a lot of offences there. Like, maybe they have a wider, like, category offering. Because 534 is a lot.
What, 534 incidents where I swore?
Since episode 234.
And what episode are we on now?
5 something. You could do that. Back to
That could be 2 swear words episode.
Yeah,
That's nothing. That's light.
There you go.
That's light.
There you go. Esther has 393 offences. Gina, 173. Brent is 102. I don't swear.
Oh, so now you don't swear.
Tell me the swear words I use.
192 of them.
Don't say the amount of it. Tell me the swear words I use.
100,
what do you hear me saying?
F, S, this is B.
You have never heard me say the F word. Ever.
That's crazy. They said I drop F-bombs all the time. I'm not a swearing. I don't swear.
I'm not a swearing you. Yeah.
I'm not a swearing you.
Oh yeah, you are.
F's. F-bombs. That's too aggressive. Like, we're here, we're talking as friends. What reason have I got to say the F word? Nah, man, I'm not buying that, man. I'm not buying that. I say shit a lot, I think. And like, when do I say F? I'm saying, yeah, in my vocabulary, I probably swear a lot like normally, yeah, but I'm saying us talking, having them conversations, there's no reason for me to say F. Like if I'm talking at you or like, there's no reason for me to really throw that word in there. Think about it. How, even though they're saying 547 and you're trying to say that I swear, actually think about it. You can't picture me saying the F word.
I can.
What, in this room when we're talking?
Yeah.
Give me context. In what way did I say it? In what way? Tell me, when you're picturing me use it, tell me how I used it.
It's never F off.
Yeah.
What the F you talking about? That's what you say sometimes.
To who?
To anybody, any idea.
I'll say, Esther, what the fuck are you talking about? She'll go crazy.
100%. And then when you do that, she's like, and she gets into her bag.
That's so like aggressive. I wouldn't ask what I wouldn't say what the fuck you talking about.
That even sounds so familiar. Do it again. it sounds familiar.
Because us do things, yeah, you don't just like associate, like it's like projecting. But when you actually pray it and you think,
we just making it up, 100%, definitely. You definitely don't swear.
That wouldn't get a good response from myself if I said that to her.
It doesn't. She basically said, you talk to me with that tongue, all right? I'll give you something.
Wait there, 1 second. Let me check because I need to see Brent. Insults are basically swear words. My insults are not swear words. That doesn't make sense. Brent drops M bombs. Thank you, Marlon. You get me. Bitches is a swear word. That's cool. I say that sometimes. Mark says what the fuck a lot. WTF? That's not like a swear word.
What the you talking about? You do it all the time.
Wait there. I say stop the foolishness.
That's not swearing.
Stop the foolishness. What the fuck are you talking about? Thank you, Danielle. Nah, man. I'm not buying this, man. This is crazy. It's not denial. I'm not saying I don't swear, guys. I know I swear, yeah, but you're not telling me, like, how I used it. And I'm saying it's like me telling my Esther, what the fuck are you talking about? That's not going down well at all. I'm not saying that to Esther.
It doesn't go down well. She said, all right, I'm engaged now. And she looks at you like, go on then. 100%. And then you do this and you adjust your mic and you cross your legs. And then you get into your bag. And then you do your soliloquy all the time.
I have to go back and watch that, man. I need examples, man.
That's all right. You're going to do it in this episode.
Shouldn't just you are the sweetest in terms of your words. See? Why are you putting that on, pinning that on the screen? Why is that not pinned? The fuck? Oh, shit.
All right. So then it is 102 offenses for Brent. Again, I don't know where that comes from. I say bollocks a lot.
That's bad.
Yeah, that's a swear
word. That's a swear word.
Yusuf, 41 offenses. Well, that makes sense.
True.
Iman, 19. When has Emmanuel sworn?
I don't know, but this girl's cooking the books. Iman should have more than 19.
When has he sworn? Like, what does he use? He might use bollocks. Or rubbish. Maybe they think rubbish is swearing.
I've heard him say bullshit.
No, he hasn't.
I've heard him say bullshit.
No, he hasn't.
I'm telling you, I've heard him say bullshit.
TDA community, have you heard Emmanuel say bullshit? that I've never heard him say that in my relationship with him. I've heard him say BS or as bull. I've never heard him say bullshit.
I think I've heard him say bullshit. I can picture him frustrated saying bullshit.
You're so funny. You can picture him saying that, but you can't picture yourself saying what the F?
No, I know I say what the fuck I do, but that's not like at someone. That's a rhetorical question.
When you say it's not at someone, how do you mean?
If I say like
how can you say what the F at somebody?
Huh?
How can you say what the F at somebody?
Because if you talk to me now and I say, what the fuck are you talking about?
You definitely do that.
No, I don't.
100%.
I don't.
100%.
It's like I'm talking to myself. It's like an inside thought.
No,
Like you say something crazy and I don't direct it to you. I'll be like, oh, what the fuck is this?
Let's walk
like,
through
what
this.
the fuck are we doing here? That's not talking to you. If that's not talking to you, if you're saying if I'm hearing something crazy, if I'm hearing something crazy and I'm saying, like, what the fuck are we doing here, man? Like, it's like I'm talking to myself. It's like a form of expression.
Stop. I just asked you just now, how can you say what the F to somebody? And then you said, well, the same way I'm talking to you now, I can say, what the F are you talking about? Right? And I say, you definitely do that. You definitely do that. Because how are you not reacting in real time? That's how I know that you bloody do that when talking to somebody. Because you react in real time.
No, I'm saying it's not reacting because I'm not engaging to you directly. I'm talking to myself when I say that. See, like those what the fucks? They're like inside thoughts outside, innit?
Anyway, none of this matters. The fact that you uttered it is how they recorded it.
That's cool. Well, users should have more swear words in it. That's what I was trying to say. They're cooking the books.
What would I have?
Bare stuff. And emails should have more than 19.
Nah, you're not convincing enough, mate.
No, my count's gone up this conversation because we've got to use the words that we're referring to in it. So that's why. So whoever's got the spreadsheet, I don't think that'll be disingenuous to add the swear words from this section onto the spreadsheet right now. Don't you think?
Wait, I'm not listening. Brent says mother effing or effing, but not the full word does. Yep, I do that all the time. If that's what they're counting.
What?
Abbreviations.
What, you say mother effer?
Yeah. Or F you. What the F? Effing effer. Effer ever. You effer.
I even heard you say effer.
Anyway, so this person shared a link. I want you to look at this video. I think you may have come across it. I don't know. But let's just speed this up to, what should we do? 1.25. And give me your thoughts on this. Maga pum pum fada.
Hey, guys like this go to America to try to make it big. They usually run into some problems. One of which is that they're seen as
Nope.
black men.
Too fast. You can't follow that. Let me put back to Let's go again.
When UK guys like this go to America to try to make it big, they usually run into some problems. One of which is that they're seen as black men, light-skinned, yes, but still black. They're expected to be involved in black Hollywood and the black Hollywood scene and be heartthrobs for black women in the way that Chris Evans or Henry Cavill are positioned as heartthrobs for white women. But in the UK, where they're from, they are not black, they're mixed race, which is quite a separate category, as there isn't and has never been a one-drop rule in the UK. A lot of the mixed race guys, particularly outside of London, are more like white guys with some African ancestry. They mix more with white people, they definitely don't date black women, and they're not really involved in the black community in the UK to the extent that there is one, unless it's a commercial endeavour or there's a trip to the Caribbean. So then they come to the US and they're expected to be black and engage with the black community, which includes black women. They're not used to doing that, so it's not authentic, and so Hollywood doesn't know what to do with them. Before you guys say I'm hating, I am not hating. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. They're just as much white as they are black. No one should be forced to engage with a community that they don't feel a part of. And there's nothing wrong with anyone making the choices that they want to make for their own lives. I'm simply explaining the difference. It's like that rumour that when Craig David was initially trying to break the US, they advised him to have black women love interests in the music videos, and he was just like, what? No. Similar thing happened with Tyler when she came to the US. Was explaining that she's coloured, which did not go down well despite that being what she is in South Africa. She quickly adapted and said that she's black because she is in the US. And if in South Africa she's coloured, and in the UK she'd be seen as mixed race. That was a smart move. Probably learned from Drake, who's smart enough to realise that commercial success in the USA as a person who looks black means embracing one's blackness. You have to win over the black people first, and then you go mainstream. That's why he was quickly seen with several different black women. Won over the black community first and then went mainstream. So that's how it works in the US. However, that's not how it works in the UK, and I suspect in other parts of Europe. The path to commercial success lies in assimilation with the majority culture. The black population in the UK is a lot smaller and a lot more fragmented than in the USA. Black Americans are black Americans, but we're from all over. Nigerians, Ghanaians, Jamaicans. This fragmentation is part of the reason why our influence is diluted. So the path to commercial success involves fitting in. And as a side note, before anyone comes to me and says this is another doom and gloom video about how no one wants black women, that's not what I said. We actually have plenty of options. As a black woman, you're more likely to date a white guy than a mixed race guy in the UK. Yes, that's the difference, and that's part of the reason why there's a bit of a disconnect with these guys when they come over.
Thoughts?
Sounds interesting.
And that last bit, as a black woman, you're more likely to date a white guy than a mixed race guy in the UK. Do you think that's legit?
No.
No?
As a black woman, you're more likely to date a white guy than a mixed race guy. Oh, no. Do you see... Actually, no. Do you see a lot of black women with mixed race men?
No.
You don't?
No.
So you think that's a... Oh, so you see more black women with white men?
I'm not saying it's a lot.
It doesn't matter what the number is.
It's more than I see with mixed race guys. Because mixed race guys tend to go for the whites, innit? White women.
I think it depends where you're raised,
100%.
I just think it depends where you're raised. I've got mixed race friends that prefer black girls, and then I've got mixed race friends that prefer white girls. I think it just depends on what areas you grew up in, who you was raised by, and stuff like that. For your influences, I think it depends. But again, we can't even really tell. Oh no, what are we doing there? I'm trying to think. What black women are there with mixed race, man?
You see how you find it hard to basically pinpoint.
Yeah,
but you can definitely see black women with white men.
Yeah, I suppose that's easier. That's easier to identify because there's people who there's people who are light skinned that I don't mind. Like you don't know if they're mixed race or not. If that makes sense. So it's easy. Yeah, it's easy. It's easier to identify. That might be true,
It might be a shout.
That might be a shout. What does the chat think? I will say I see more mixed guys dating white women and more mixed girls dating black men. My cis partner is mixed race and his mum is white. Mixed race dons love the racially ambiguous Jones. Mixed race man don't like black things. Mixed race people usually stick to their own. That's not true. I think mixed race people I think mixed race girls usually like black men more, I think. Or not like more, but we'll just say what I've seen then. I've seen more mixed race women with more black men.
You normally see black men chasing mixed race women like crazy.
Yeah, but they received the chase. You know what I'm saying? That's their market too. But the mixed race women like black men, and the mixed race man on the majority of the time usually like white girls. So it's mixed race girls chasing black men, mixed race boys. Well, white girls chasing. Well, everybody chases black men anyway. Black man is the prize.
Wasn't always the case.
Huh?
Wasn't always the case.
It was. You just get in trouble for it.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
You see, you're speaking from a place of light-skinned black man.
No.
My friend, I don't know what you're talking about.
Dark-skinned black man was...
What are you saying? Go on, finish your sentence. Go on. Desired in secondary school?
Huh? By a white girl? Just not allowed. We're talking about racism, right? We're doing an interracial thing, especially in this England. Remember Alan in EastEnders and that? Dark-skinned black man.
You're just talking about, like, interracial coupling?
No, just now, whatever I was leading on to, this point that I was making, that is what I was referring to.
No, first of all, you said that black man has always been desired. And I said, wait a minute, hold up. You're talking about your experience as a light-skinned black man.
Yeah, I know, but obviously it got into interracial. Remember, we was talking about mixed race and rest of the test. So race is coming into it. So that's the maths that I don't know how to go
now,
into it.
I understand you're not talking about what you said. Instead, you've switched it to mixed coupling. So black man, dark-skinned black man, and white woman.
What I was saying, yeah, kind of. I did move the goalpost a little bit because you were saying black man. You was moving like black man. I was saying black man's always been the prize. You was moving like they wasn't. And I said they have always been. They just wasn't allowed to, like in certain circumstances. They've always wanted the black man. They just wasn't allowed to want them. That's how I moved it into race.
What do you mean?
Because back in the day, these white things loved the black man, but they're not allowed to.
So you are talking about the white people.
I've just twisted in it. I've just used that as an example when you've gone to prove it as an example that dark-skinned black men have always been wanted. That's why I used the white woman example.
No, when you do that, I only now fixate on that particular criteria of white woman and dark-skinned black man. When you initially started, you were talking about all women.
Yeah.
So what is it?
Two things can be true.
And also, are you saying both are true? So if you're saying both are true, forget about the white. You can just focus on all.
Dark-skinned black man's always been in.
No. In our
community, yeah, because you're confident in your sexuality, you can tell me in our community, in our black community, African community, African American, Caribbean, the whole diaspora, all of it, of sex symbols, men in our community. Yeah, you can tell me some people that women like or people deem attractive. There's sex symbols in our community, like attractive men. And if you think through history and you go through, yeah, a lot of them are all dark. They're dark skinned men.
Are you talking about American history
and English?
So you're looking at Idris?
Okay, go on.
Go on.
What for England?
Go on.
What, he's just about England?
Go on.
What after Idris?
Go on. I remember
Lenny Henry. Why are you laughing? Why is man laughing? What kind of disrespect is that? What kind of disrespect is man doing?
Who's checking for Lenny Henry?
Lenny's up there.
Oh my gosh.
Lenny's up there.
Mate.
Skepta.
No, that's the other days.
Okay,
it just
cool.
came about the other day.
All right, let me go back in the day. Wait, let's keep.
That's when they corrected themselves, isn't it?
Yeah, but look, we go America. Morris Chestnut and them man. Joe the Sea.
You're dumb. You're so dumb. Oh my gosh. Oh, bloody hell.
The sex symbols, the men's sex symbols in our community are usually dark skinned men, bro. Yes.
You went to school in East, right? I went to school in the South.
Yeah, there is North technically, but it's East because like Shoreditch, Hackney Road is the East part. Technically, there's an N on the postcode, but yeah, I kind of go school in East, yeah, basically.
All right, so your brethren, what's his name? Blacks?
Joey.
Yeah. Is he getting things?
What, in school and that?
Yeah.
I don't know what we were doing outside of school because I went to a boys' school.
All right. Anyway, let's
I can't believe the disrespect for Lenny Henry is crazy.
We did push up.
Man, dark skin man haven't always been in. This is hating. Yeah, we'll get into our headlines then, man, because these are hating. But dark skin man have always been in. I can't. You don't not championing light skin man like that. Anyway, especially if you go to like the Americans and all that. Like, yeah, look, Wesley Snipes, Tay Diggs. Look, these man, they're about. Yeah, you know what? You've got like the recency bias here, and you're letting like what's happening now just like mess up before. Everybody just forgets where we come from. Like dark skinned man are. That's it. You get what I'm trying to say?
That's it. No.
From the 90s and that, bro. From Quay. This is why we've got these stupid race wars and stuff and rest of the day, like between us in our own culture, because we're always fighting against each other because we like you are. It's not delusional, but you're like, I don't know, man. It's revisionist history. You're not thinking properly. Okay, give me a what. Old school as well. What light skinned man would have been thing? Could have been a mixed race man for our community. That's like
Who, genuine?
Genuine light skin.
He's a whole Douglas man.
Oh, he's Cooley.
He's a whole Douglas man.
I don't think Cooley's light skinned.
I didn't say light skinned, but he's not a dark skinned black man.
I don't know. I'm gonna go away. I'm gonna bring receipts. I might have to do something.
You know they were on Douglas heavy.
Well, back in the day.
100%.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Coolies was a thing. If you was Coolie back in the day,
clean up.
you was cooking. Cooking. Oh God. All right, let's get into our headlines, man.
Right.
is a coolie. Stacey, a coolie is black people with Indian in them, basically. That's what them called. Man said Max.
Oh, hold up. Someone's on Discord.
Ah.
And then I need to get like a noise that alerts me when somebody's on Discord. Good morning, good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Morning. I'm good, thank you.
All right, what are your thoughts?
Mugs,
Yeah.
stop this nonsense.
What do you mean?
Stop this nonsense.
Talk to me.
Dark-skinned black men have not always been in. They haven't. There was a specific time where mixed-race men were actually the prize back, and we're from the same era, Mark. So I don't know, but maybe it's a South thing. I don't know. Maybe it's an ends thing. But definitely in South, mixed race men were having a run.
I think mixed race girls, definitely. The girls had a time.
Both genders. They were having a run.
And
so
it was the basics.
I think you're having recency bias by saying, "Oh, it's in now."
100%.
It's in now, yes.
That question I gave you about, say, like just sex symbols from our communities or whatever. Am I not right? Ain't it dark skinned men that you're going to be thinking of?
Now, yes, we'll reel them off now, and I think also America's different.
No, she said now. She said she'll reel them off now.
Remember?
Yeah, I'll run them off now.
21 seconds.
He's not light skin. He's like brown skin. There's 3 shades: light skin, brown skin, dark skin.
Yeah, but he wouldn't be put in the dark skin category, would he? Though.
No, I wouldn't say Romeo's dark skin. No.
Exactly.
And the next one, Harvey.
Well, Harvey's like mixed,
exactly,
isn't it?
Harvey.
He's mixed, isn't it?
Yeah, he's mixed. And going back to that whole mix thing, they normally are with themselves or white women. The guys, 100% agree with what that video was. 100%.
I've never thought about it like that before. For them English man going over to America and having to do all that.
Yeah, but more time they are with white women. But then I feel like that's because they would be with white men here. Yeah, more time mixed race.
All those people that they showed, it's just like how they get seen. I suppose it's how we look at black people or mixed race people in England and America. I don't know, but like all those people that she showed in that video, like I don't look at them and think like that's representation of like black power, like them man there. Do you get what I mean though? Like that's not what when I see them dons, I don't see that. So I don't know if it's because they're mixed race or because they're light skin or what, but like I don't know. Yeah. They don't give off that black man thing anyway. So is it just the way that huh?
How can you say they don't? So this just leads to what she said, that there's a distinction made, even though some people try to make it seem like there's not a distinction made here when there is. That's what you're doing, because you're saying you don't see them as a representation of black men.
It's unfair. I mean, like I don't look at them and think like TDA.
Oh my god.
No, but do you get what I mean though? Like,
oh man,
I don't know what it is.
But Mads, I think you're doing revisionist history of this whole dark skinned black men. No.
So when you was doing Morris Chestnut and all that, what?
No, yes, Morris Chestnut. I think again, I would say there's a distinction between us in the UK and in America. Yes, in America they held those guys in high esteem, but also Shaymar Moore was held in high esteem.
The highest.
Who's mixed race? Well, he's black, obviously there, but he was a light skinned black man. They also had a run them times. So there was like Boris Kodjoe, there was Shaymar Moore, there was obviously Michael Ealy. Who else? Even Jesse Williams. Who was that time back in the day that were lighter in those films?
I don't know, but Yeah, look, who said that? Because that is serious. Antonia said it, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. That has been a saying from the beginning of time. I think that's in the Bible. You get what I mean? So, black man been getting love. Yo, where you going, Killy? Moving like you're not involved. Come on, man.
What's going on?
That's good, you alright, yeah? Big guest in the building.
Yeah, even Fernand, I think people used to say blick. That was used as a cuss all the time for dark skinned black.
Man, Travis.
Yo, what's good, man?
Help me out here.
Talk to me.
Have you been following what's going on or not?
No, I don't know. I just literally pulled up, fam.
I was just wondering whether you was watching on the live or not.
Oh, no, sorry.
I was trying to explain to them, yeah. I can't remember how we got into this thing, yeah, but I've been saying to them that, like, dark-skinned black men, like, black men have always been the prize, basically, for most women and stuff like that.
Okay.
And they're saying they're not. And they're saying, like, back in the day, black men this. And I'm saying, if you look at, like, sex symbols from our culture, whether it be like England, American, African Americans, the Caribbean, whatnot, throughout history, in our demographics, like the sex symbols have always been black men, dark skinned men, really.
So hold on.
His example was Lenny Henry.
Lenny Henry, bro. Lenny Henry was drawing gal. To your recollection, bro. Lenny, Big Len. Stop this, bro. Stop this. You're trying to switch.
And that's a poor example because Lenny Henry was with Dawn French. What's it? Dawn Sanders or whatever. What's her name? Dawn French or Dawn Sanders?
French
or whatever her name is.
Dawn French.
Yeah, but she wanted him bad.
Yeah, but come on, Lenny Henry can't be your flipping the base level, bro. Come on, stop this, bro. Light skin, come on, you're light skin. You're trying to switch the agenda, bro. Light skin man they had their era, bro. But go back to Chico DeBarge and them man there, bro. That's when the thing changed. Prince, Michael Jackson, bro. What were you saying right now?
Michael Jackson was both.
Michael Jackson played both teams, yes, but he had a dominant run as a light skinned youth, bro. You're trying to switch the narrative, bro. Come on, man. It was a Tyrese Baby Boy era that switched the thing to the dark skin man.
Tyrese Baby Boy, that's late. Before from Morris Chestnut, Tay Diggs.
Okay, no. Okay, yeah.
Like
I hear that still. Denzel. Yeah, I'm sleeping. But yeah, I hear it still.
Yeah, but for a Tay Diggs, there was a Terrence Howard. That's what I'm saying.
Wesley
in America,
Snipes.
they had both.
Wesley Snipes.
Yeah,
Remember
yes.
Jungle Fever?
You got a case, but the light skin thing has been there like prominent as well, though.
Yeah, but I just feel like they don't get championed.
Exactly.
What you say? Oh, you're trying to be a victim now.
No.
You ain't doing that.
This is crazy.
You ain't doing that.
This is crazy. This is all crazy. Brent, play the
back
video.
and forth, but we ain't doing that, bro.
No, Brent, play the video that sparked all this quickly, just so we got some context. Because he's thinking I'm just moving crazy.
Right.
Man's coming here to try and be a freaking victim in this story. Diabolical, bro.
I don't even know how we got here. I wasn't defending him. I agree with this woman anyway.
To try to make it big, they usually run into some problems. One of which is that they're seen as when UK guys like this go to America to try to make it big, they usually run into some problems. One of which is that they're seen as black men, light-skinned, yes, but still black. They're expected to be involved in black Hollywood and the black Hollywood scene and be heartthrobs for black women in the way that Chris Evans or Henry Cavill are positioned as heartthrobs for white women. But in the UK, where they're from, they are not black, they're mixed race, which is quite a separate category, as there isn't and has never been a one-drop rule in the UK. A lot of the mixed race guys, particularly outside of London, are more like white guys with some African ancestry. They mix more with white people, they definitely don't date black women, and they're not really involved in the black community in the UK to the extent that there is one, unless it's a commercial endeavour or there's a trip to the Caribbean. But then they come to the US and they're expected to be black and engage with the black community, which includes black women. They're not used to doing that, so it's not authentic, and so Hollywood doesn't know what to do with them. Before you guys say I'm hating, I am not hating. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. They're just as much white as they are black. No one should be forced to engage with a community that they don't feel a part of. And there's nothing wrong with anyone making the choices that they want to make for their own lives. I'm simply explaining the difference. It's like that rumour that when Craig David was initially trying to break the US, they advised him to have black women love interests in the music videos, and he was just like, what? No. Similar thing happened with Tyler when she came to the US. Was explaining that she's coloured, which did not go down well, despite that being what she is in South Africa. She quickly adapted and said that she's black because she is in the US. And if in South Africa she's coloured, and in the UK she'd be seen as mixed race. That was a smart move. Probably learned from Drake, who was smart enough to realise that commercial success in the USA as a person who looks black means embracing one's blackness. You have to win over the black people first, and then you go mainstream. That's why he was quickly seen with several different black women. won over the black community first and then went mainstream. So that's how it works in the US. However, that's not how it works in the UK, and I suspect in other parts of Europe. The path to commercial success lies in assimilation with the majority culture. The black population in the UK is a lot smaller and a lot more fragmented than in the USA. Black Americans are black Americans, but we're from all over. Nigerians, Ghanaians, Jamaicans. This fragmentation is part of the reason why our influence is diluted. So the path to commercial success involves fitting in. And as a side note, before anyone comes to me and says this is another doom and gloom video about how no one wants black women, that's not what I said. We actually have plenty of options. As a black woman, you're more likely to date a white guy than a mixed race guy in the UK. Yes, that's the difference, and that's part of the reason why there's a bit of a disconnect with these guys when they come over.
Interesting.
Do you think that last line's true? That a black woman's more likely to date a white man than a mixed race man?
I don't really know how to break that one down. I don't think that one's true. And I also don't think basing like these evaluations based on successful celebrities who are mixed race is the full story. Because like we're like on ends, pure mixed race people. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you get some mixed race people that lean towards their white side and they kind of, you know, lean in that way. It's like the whole kind of narrative of, oh, if your mum's white, you tend to be culturally white. Like they kind of, there is that stereotype that kind of runs, but it's not a factual statement when in terms of my lived experience with mixed race people that I know and I've come across. Because some of them I'm just like, right, I thought you just light skin, fam. Like it because the energy is very much like, so yeah, I'm not really 100%, but I do understand the American side of things when they see mixed race people, because they look and they're just like, yo, you're black. Do you know what I mean? But then there's still nuance in the conversations, like Kaepernick. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes they kind of say, oh, sometimes there's the whole overcompensating. Sometimes, you know what I mean? And I was like, it's a nuanced conversation. It's kind of hard to just be like hard rule, hard explanation, because there's some man that will go over there and they'll just connect with the scene. So
I've heard that overcompensating thing. That Jesse guy, what's his name?
Yeah, the actor.
Jesse Williams.
Jesse Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah, they try to say he does the overcompensating thing because he goes ham.
But I think there might be something in it, like on the deep dive, where it's like, you know, if there is, say if there's like an absent parent who might be, say, like the black parent, you kind of are searching for that culture. So you search a bit harder because there's a bit of a gap that you kind of grew up with. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, there's a lot. It's a complicated one still.
Do you consider yourself light skinned?
Do I consider myself? Nah, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Browning is probably where I start. You know what I mean? Right, so there's light skin, dark skin debates where I've been on the fence watching these men go at it for years. I'm like, I don't really know where I sit. You know what I mean? Because I'll be sitting there thinking I'm team dark skin, and dark skin will be like, hey, get yourself out of here, bro. So I don't really know, fam.
All right, Christy, thank you very much.
Thanks.
I'm going to push on to the headlines now.
Juicy Smoothie.
Juicy Smoothie. That brother's hilarious, man. Brother tried to call himself the Tupac of the street.
I said the gay Tupac. That was wild.
That was a mad time.
Did I press headlines?
Yeah, you pressed it.
All right, cool.
Should I just go, yeah?
Yeah.
So our first headline. Are we really just starting our first headlines? Great day, man.
Asylum.
The inmates are running the asylum again, man. So, our first headline says, Reeves urges Labour MPs to back winter fuel cut. So Chancellor Rachel Reeves has urged Labour MPs to back her plan to cut winter fuel payments. More than 9 million pensioners will no longer be eligible for up to £300 this winter after Miss Reeves announced the introduction of means testing following Labour election win. There are concerns dozens of Labour MPs could abstain in a vote on the policy in Parliament on Tuesday, amid worry pensioners on modest incomes may miss out this winter. In a call for solidarity ahead of the vote, Chancellor Rachel Reeves said the blame should fall on reckless decisions on public finances by Conservatives. The Prime Minister told journalists the government had not wanted to take the tough decision, but it was done to help secure economic stability. Ms. Reeves added that she was not immune to the arguments that many in the room have made. However, she said the government's commitment to triple lock meant the state pension had risen by around 900 compared with a year ago. See, Labour just got in, man. They're just causing trouble, man. Causing trouble straight away, Brent. They ain't even moved in properly yet. It's crazy, man.
Okay.
Chief Prisons Inspector warns of revolving door as around 1,750 inmates are set for early release. Chief Inspector of Prisons for England and Wales has warned that today's early release of around 1,750 offenders is going to be risky. It is being done to create space in the country's overcrowded prisons, and the government insists the alternative was unthinkable and would have led to a total collapse of the criminal justice system. But HMP Chief Inspector of Prisons Charlie Taylor told Sky News, it's a risky time with so many prisoners coming out at the same time. Normally there are about 1,000 prisoners coming out a week. Most of those 1,000 prisoners will still come out this week, but on top of that, we've got 1,700 other prisoners, and then in October, we have another tranche of around 2,000 coming out as well. Inevitably, that puts some risk into local communities and greater strain on already stretched probation services. Justifying the decision, Justice Secretary Shabana Mahmood said, we inherited a prison system on the point of collapse. This is not a change we wanted to make. It was the only option left on the table because the alternative would have seen a total collapse of the criminal justice system. In our last headline in this first segment, it says the Afghan embassy in London to shut after Taliban sacks staff. The Afghan embassy in London is set to close following the dismissal of its staff by the Taliban government. The mission said it would shut by the end of September at the official request of the UK government. It follows an announcement by the Taliban in July that it was cutting ties with several embassies set up by the previous regime. Until now, the West London mission was staffed by officials appointed during the pre-Taliban Islamic Republic of Afghanistan government. Afghan ambassador to the UK, Zalmay Russell, thanked his colleagues and others who have sincerely cooperated with the Afghan embassy in London during this period. And that is the end of our first headline.
I just saw the headline slide just now. It is 16 minutes in, Chijoke. No, it's not 16. It is 40 something minutes in. Anyway, he said that I didn't press it, and I did press it. So I feel vindicated. Because he was trying to convince me.
Oh, no, all right, this is what you say. Topic of the day. Everyone, jump on the Discord if you want to get involved. Today's question is, why are we so afraid of change? So we should explore what's holding people back. Psychological barriers, fear of the unknowns. People often stay in similar situations if they're unhappy because of fear of uncertainty of what's next. Can you relate to that?
I think it's just human nature to kind of want things as they know them. Do you know what I mean? That unknown is such an unsettling thing for some people. Do you know what I mean? Like the fight and flight response.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they choose to flight. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's just stick to what we know. Let's just keep it cool, keep it comfortable. That's what it is. So that's like an inherent human kind of trait, I think.
Just stick it in your comfort zone and just... People, they said from the beginning, people feel they don't understand. And I think it's because of... You see, your life, where you are at this point in your life, yeah, your whole lived experience, you've been through so much. You're an adult, you're a big man, you're a sensible person, whatnot. But at this point in your life, when you hear things or see things, yeah, that don't make no sense to you, yeah, it's frightening because it's like, I'm not an idiot. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I wasn't born this big. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I've been through bare things. I've got sense. I know what I'm talking about. I know where we're at. How at this point in my life can you come and be saying this stuff?
It sounds brand new.
It don't make no sense. I don't understand this. I don't get it. This is scary because now I don't know. And
it's old. It's like old people adapting to the modern world.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, there's some stuff where you just accept, it's from a different time. Obviously, not everything can get run with that excuse, but there's times where you just go, that at that point, this is so late in the day, you're not buying into this new concept of this modern world that we're in. That's why there's like, sometimes you get these comics and they come on stage and they talk about conversations they have with their granddads about certain views about how modern people live. And it's just like, some men are not changing. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's the nature, like you say, we get to these type of ages where we get set in ourselves as who we are. You present something brand new to me at this point, I'm like, I don't know if I'm rolling with this change, bro. It's a change of pace, new mindset, new way of doing things. I don't know if I don't think that's better, I might just dig my heels in and that's it now.
Is that how so when you approach new things, what is your approach to it? You look at like a pros and cons kind of thing, is it?
Yeah. I think you kind of have to these days. Do you know what I mean? And also just factor in people. Like, it's like a cliche thing to say, but it's like, be gentle with people when it comes to certain things. Because there's certain people that are passionate about what they're talking about. And it's like, to just rubbish that that's a big kind of an egregious mark on their experiences with regards to like, you know, head to head. I'm not saying I'm going to be willing to compromise on every single thing, but just the approach in the conversation with that sometimes is probably for the best.
You being on Supercell recently, is that something new?
For me, in my career, yeah, absolutely.
So then, how do you approach that? Is there any issues there approaching that, or is that just because you see it's just if it's a positive, it's something I just jump into it?
Yeah, I mean, approaching that in terms of what like being in it and just kind of, you know, it's like a step up in my career in a big way.
Well, like I was saying, people don't like change or new things. They find it uncomfortable. So you're going to walk into that situation and not know what you're getting yourself into. That could be scary as much as it being exciting.
Yeah, I mean, for different reasons though, because it's one of the things where I've always been trying to aspire to get into that type of arena.
Okay.
So stepping into it, the anxiety comes in terms of like, okay, am I going to get found out and not be good enough to even exist here?
Yeah.
Or is it going to be a thing where it's like I get here and I can't manage the other little things that come back that you didn't even foresee? Like, for example, being recognized a bit more and just this kind of stuff that people kind of know a bit more about you. Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things that you didn't plan for. You just want to be in a great show. So,
All right, so you've been acting for a while.
yeah.
I've seen you, and you've been competent for a while. So how is that different to what you did in Supercell? Why was it a thing where you're like, would I be found out in this particular environment?
You know what it is for me? I just like to keep a humble approach to things. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of actors in this show that I respect. So my respect for them makes me want to respect the craft so that I come in and I don't let you guys down. Because with acting, it's a team sport, realistically. Like, everybody could be putting on a great performance, but if your scene comes on, you can't act. And it's one of the things where, man, I've seen you, you're looking at the camera, you're letting everybody else down. So for me, I'm always that thing of like, rah, you know, Eric, he's done BMF, he's done his thing, Toss and Cole, these are strong actors. Calvin, these guys are people that people respect. I'm like, okay, I'm a stand-up comic. So there's a part of me even in my mind where I'm like, I'm not a traditional actor like how these guys are.
You've put yourself in front of a live audience.
No, I hear you, but in terms of my approach to things, I always try to be meticulous to make sure that I don't leave any stone unturned. So stepping into that arena, I'm like, okay, let me put my best foot forward, represent, and also respect you guys by delivering and doing my job. So was I nervous? No, I kind of... I process nerves like a sportsman does. I used to play sports. Like, my background is basketball and boxing. So it's like the nerves before a boxing match, I always feel that's the highest nerves will ever be because I'm like, I could die in this ring. Whereas I ain't gonna die if I can't act. Like, I might get roasted on Twitter, but it'd be cool. So for me, I try to keep a measured approach where I'm like, I'm going to do my best. And only if I know I've done my best, I'll be able to sleep at night, even if it's shit.
So the edits that they went with, were those for you the best of what you offered?
Yeah. No, I was comfortable. I was really happy with the whole project as a whole. Like, when we film our own scenes, watching it back, you don't get to see everybody else's stuff. So I kind of watched it like a new, you know what I mean, like a new set of eyes. And I just got lost in it. First of all, I was analysing my first couple scenes I'm on screen. I'm like, hey, don't be a dickhead. Don't look like a dickhead. Don't look like a dickhead. But when I was like, okay, you know what? It's cool. Everyone's fine. I just got to enjoy the show. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, glad to be a part of a show that had the impact on a kind of, you know, a conversational level regarding sickle cell. Do you know what I mean? So watching it in its entirety, I was like, nah, this is a show that I'm so honoured to be a part of.
You didn't get powers, did you?
Nah, bro. I didn't, fam. Do you know what I mean? And
that would have pissed me off.
Listen, fam.
Were you in the writing rooms talking about, so wait there, let me get a little laser beams. I can't get a little, you know what I'm saying? Just something.
And the thing is, I felt cool. In the script read, I'm like, when we're filming it, I'm like, glad to be a part of this thing. But when I started seeing man, the eyes light up, I'm thinking, that would have been fun still.
So you got the proper the sidekick that ain't got no powers that could die any time.
Just getting smoked.
You're not taking the same risk
Brother,
as the superheroes.
I see people tweeting me saying, John's a snake, fam. He didn't go with man to the trap house. I'm thinking, brother, you don't see man's got super strength. What am I doing if it gets on top? Brother. You know what I mean? Like, he's a snake, fam. He didn't go. I think he lot are slow, man.
I want to fully get into that, but I want to do that when it is that we're doing your part in it. So
cool.
Let's get back into the bus.
Is anybody in the Discord?
No, not yet.
What about fear of change in relationships, in aspects of relationships or maybe careers? People that stay in toxic relationships because they fear being alone or starting over. Like they're men suffering in silence. As a man, I'm not saying you can relate, 'cause I'm sure but as you almost definitely had a friend that's been suffering in silence.
In their relationship?
Yeah. Like just not happy.
It's a techie one, man. You know what, man? I saw like some guy did this, was one of them, you know, them quote pages, they post like some people's stuff from like other platforms and that. And his brother was talking about how he left his missus and he's got like a, you know, he's had to leave the yard and he's living in a new space. He goes, he didn't want to be with the girl, but he's like, life's a bit shit now still. The yard is small. He goes, I miss my old yard, chilling in my patio and all those other things. So it's one of them ones where it's like people fear shifting and making a big change in their life and just feeling like shit on the other side. It's a gamble, but I think life is nothing's guaranteed in this life. Like you gotta choose a way to make yourself either happy in the situation you're in or choose the better situation for you and be cool with the outcome. I think sometimes people have the safety first approach. It's like the type of person that does the job that they know pays the bill, like in the vein of our job security. But you're not happy, and then 5 years time they make you redundant, and it's like, rah, what was all this for? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough though. It was to keep the lights on though, isn't it?
I hear it, but in reality there is no safe choice. That's a lie. It's a lie. You stay in this relationship, that person be cheating on you and then just leave you for this next person. What was the safe choice?
Do you think there's ever a good reason to stay in a, let's say, bad relationship? Is that a way to frame it? Bad relationship?
I don't know, because I think a lot of people do it for the kids.
You think that's a good reason?
I don't necessarily think it's a good reason. It's a noble reason.
We spoke about this. This came up on the show the other day because I was
Yeah.
saying I respect them couples that stay together because a lot of people stay together and then they divorce when the kids are 18, and it's because they've been done, but they
Yeah.
stay together
To keep the home unit.
for the home unit, the family unit, put them through college, all that kind of stuff. I think that's, like you're saying, honourable. I think that's a good. I think that's a good thing to do.
Yeah, in theory. But then when you hear kids grow up and say, my parents, I knew they hated each other. Like, we kind of underestimate children's intuition. They can sense the vibes. Do you know what I mean? I feel like kids are a lot more spiritually in tune than we want to give them credit for because they're young. But they feel the energy. Do you know what I mean? You've ever been in a situation like, I don't know, you got kids? Yeah, so it's like you're having an argument or a little something behind the scenes and you're putting on a front for the kids. But they come in, Daddy, what's wrong?
No.
And you think you're performing, you think you've done a great job, but they can feel it. So for me, them growing up in that environment, I don't know that that's better than you guys splitting up, finding happiness wherever you find it, and then coming together as your happy version for your kids. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know that that's a better experience for them just by keeping it together in the same house.
I hear that. Might be though if you stay together, put them through college, made them become doctors and thing. What's it matter that you know your dad hated your mom? What the hell does it matter? What's it matter? Like, you know what I'm saying? They served their purpose. They done their thing.
Yeah, I mean, because obviously
A two-parent household is better for raising a kid. Statistically, we've seen that. You know what I'm trying to say? So the things that you're talking about is true. They're there. We can't avoid them, and kids will pick up on stuff. And it's not good growing up in a toxic household or a loveless house and all these kind of things. Cool, but statistics have seen you got a better chance in life if both your parents are there.
That's real. And also, even the concept of marriage. I saw a tweet the other day and it was just saying like being married for love is a relatively new thing.
Yeah.
Like before, it was more of a business arrangement. These families have come together because you two are suited financially and all the likes. So it was about rearing a successful next gen more so than it was about, love of my life.
Love ain't never kept no relationship together, man. If you ain't got no, you get me, tangible things, kids, mortgages, businesses. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
When people marry into these families, like what you're saying, like, yeah, you're from good stock.
Yeah.
Then you marry over there to
That's
help
it.
build relationships and politics. That's. I feel like I'm on a Game of Thrones thing.
Yeah, 100%. That's why they might be marrying their cousins. Kind of like, I know my brother's got good peas, it's good keeping his money in-house. And it just gets wild. So,
Do you agree with that? Love being a recent concept in marriages.
I don't think it's a case of agreeing. I think that's what it used to be about.
When you say what it used to be about, how specific are we being? Because we've seen some of the greatest love stories in biblical text, right? And when we think about the beginnings of these particular traditions, that's the furthest we can go. And we've seen examples of love and the importance of love. So when you say how it used to be, like what are you specifically talking about?
So back in the day, I'm not like gonna become a historian on the conversation, but
I want you to chip in too, because you're the historian here.
Sorry, what are we talking about now?
in terms of
Stay in the boat, man.
Yeah, I'm reading ahead. I'm trying to get my notes.
I thought you could do both things, Mr. Cerebro. Basically, back in the day when marriages used to be contrived, it didn't used to be about love.
Okay, yeah.
Right? Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Why?
Politics.
business deals.
Especially
Give me some examples, please.
Like the way, especially like the way like the roles and stuff do it and stuff like that and residents there. So it's like it's protecting your investment for your future.
You're talking about like the royals, kings, queens, and them there.
Yeah, and even on a slower level, like duchesses and things like people that
So still royalty.
the aristocrats of society and that like
So
they keep
still
it.
royalty. You're getting your stay from royalty.
But I'm saying it makes sense. If I've come from good stock, yeah, I come from good stock. I've built up something for myself, yeah, and I have a child, yeah, and I want to secure this for our future, yeah. And you're from good stock. You get what I'm trying to say? Your good things, politically powers, you might have a next thing that can help us in our endeavors in the future, and you have a daughter that's of similar age, and we decide to come together, to bring them together, to bring our families together, to be a powerhouse and move forward and take the next step in what we're doing. That all makes sense to
Lovely.
me.
So people with money and possessions.
Okay, yeah.
This is who we're taking our stay from. Because
Land.
that's not the majority.
Land and things. Yeah, but that's
That's
what I
not-
want to, that's who I want to be.
So when you say that's how it used to be, you're basically looking to...
Look at the concept of an arranged marriage.
Yes.
What factors would you consider looking for a marriage in times where these are the things that are prominent
What
decision
culture are we
making?
talking about? Because you're not from a culture where you had arranged marriages.
No,
are you?
I'm not. But what
And
I'm
you're
saying
speaking
is
on a culture that you're not from.
no. But we're speaking from a different time where
Yes.
behavior was different in general.
Yes.
So yes, romance and love existed, and people fell in love, of course. But there's sometimes their marriages were forbidden. You'd be like, "Who is this brother, this vagabond that you're telling me you love? He will do nothing for your future," and that would be
facts.
shut down.
Facts.
And they would line up and look at Bridgerton, bro. Them men been arranging marriages from day.
From Quay.
You're still talking about people with money.
Whoa.
Possessions.
I think people without money would do that. Say like in the streets and the slums of England,
So
like
they can climb up.
like brethren that put each other on. If that makes sense, it's not the
Why are you
same
talking
as
about England?
because we're in England.
I want your lived experience, right?
My lived experience.
Yes.
Oh, so you want us to
Your
be
lineage.
talking about the last 30-something
We
years?
got, no, we gotta go back in a long time ago.
You got to
Days.
go back if we're saying back
No,
in the day.
no. When I say lived experience, I'm saying your lineage.
Okay.
Don't talk about Bridgerton. That's not. You didn't
Okay.
come from that.
Okay.
That's not your stock. You came
Okay.
from, right? Talk about the stock that you came from. Because I could understand royals sitting here talking about arranged. I could understand, like, say, Indians. They're talking about because they do that.
Is that
right?
not a thing in African culture, though?
arranged marriages
They have in different tribes?
Should be.
with money?
Why's that a
No,
caveat?
I don't know. I'm,
Now you need to separate again.
yeah. It's a good question you asked. But in my mind, it's always a case of, yes, it would be good to basically pick, because then you have to come and ask the father for hand in marriage. And he asks, okay, what family you from? Da, 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 da. I understand all that.
But what
right?
do you think that question is about, asking the father for hand in marriage?
Can you look after...
No.
Sorry.
This is an
jumping ahead.
exchange of property.
Yes. Yeah.
That's where the root of that conversation is.
Yes.
I'm acquiring this
But in
from
that,
you.
in that
Understand?
situation, we are still talking about whether it is that he has come because they have fallen in love and he's now asking for permission to look after the daughter, or whether it is he doesn't know her and the families have just decided to sit down and say, this is happening, find love after the fact.
I think poor families would engage in that
All right, okay.
to try and give themselves the best chance.
That's right.
Do you get what I'm trying to
try
say? The
and
best
climb,
chance to try and
social
climb
climbing.
the social ladder in that to give themselves the best chance. Like we're poor, yeah. This is all a shit
You're not
show.
convinced me.
But them lot
convinced
over
me.
there are half decent.
Let's move on. You convinced me. You convinced me. I'm here. I'm here. I'm
no,
here.
no, yeah, exactly. But even
Middle
like,
argument.
you listen to the like bride price.
Yeah.
That was a significant situation. Today, it seems like a tradition that's kind of kept, and we try to uphold certain things. But there's certain things I look at that now, and I'm like, that had to have been a bigger transaction.
100%.
It's a
Still
serious,
transaction.
it's a serious transaction. Yeah.
That doesn't mean that person didn't love that person. It's just, this is what you need to do to basically get this permission, right? So, but you've convinced me. I'm there. Now, should we still be looking at the past in order to basically govern our present in this context?
I think the problem with disregarding the past is we
this
assume.
context,
No, I
yeah.
hear you, but we assume that much has changed in society. Like a lot of this is the same story, different roles, different faces in different ways. But a lot of these things, they are the same. Inherently, I don't think we change that much as people, as generations go on. So whilst I hear what we're saying in terms of like the past and da-da-da, but I'm like, modern ways of living, I don't know that they're much better or are equaling better results.
Would the only thing that I would have to question is obviously the same questions that people have now, why that kind of stuff's frowned upon, is how the kids would actually, or how the people are going to be being in that relationship. Once you force them to get married, they're going to have to grow into love. They're not going to know each other and all that. Back in the day, it was easier dealt with. Now people got more rights and things like you don't have to put them through that. They shouldn't do that. But that's the only thing.
Yeah.
If I had, me as a father, if I could pattern up my youth's wife and know that she's from good stock and I would.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I would. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Like, I'm patting him up. Yeah, man, this one's you, man. Marry her. You don't go fall in love.
Yeah. Yeah.
You agree too, right?
I'm saying, he's like, I'm hearing the point.
You're just hearing the point. All right. We're having a little trouble with Emmanuel doing the same thing. So, does it matter what he wants in this particular scenario when you're saying, I can see how this would be beneficial to me?
So as in you're saying from the father in the equation.
Mads said that he would love to pattern up his son's wife because he's gauged their family and said, this benefits my family and by proxy, my son, so make it work.
And so does it matter what my son wants?
100%.
But he don't know what he wants.
That's the thing. You're applying the parental foresight in this life.
Where do you sit with that? My children are not going to know what they want. Where do you sit with that? Because you came up as a child once, right?
Yeah, I hear you. But like those early relationships, they didn't work out. And in your mind at that point in your 20s or whatnot, you'd have swore blind this was going to be the one. Do you know what I mean? But your parents, after the relationship ends, you're having a chat and it's like, yeah, they weren't right for you. So it's like there is a foresight that's there that they might be wrong. They're not always going to be right. People who have survived marriages and the parents didn't agree. But I'm saying sometimes that foresight could give you a better chance at success.
Talk to me, Mr. Comedian, who looks to start at a particular point with a joke and then has to basically cook it and blend it and put it in front of this and then tweak it. Then you have this perfect finish. How are you telling me that you finding your own way isn't a better option for you?
Different arena.
Talk to me.
We're talking about life and people, and when it comes to your creative journey, there's growth that's still taking place, and there's obviously still growth on a personal level in terms of how you're living your life, the person you want to be with, and all those kind of things. But with our human experience, the faces change, the names change, but the stories by and large stay the same. The issues that you dealing with in your young relationship, your parents have seen those. Like, you be having conversations. Not exactly, but
this new era.
Go ask your grandparents for marriage advice.
What is they?
Go ask your parents.
what is they?
Like, what is they?
No, but there's still, even though like it's just different day and age, so there's different things that they're not going to be exposed to, like the social media side of it, the internet side of things, and in the relationship. So they're not going to understand the dynamics, yeah. But ain't nothing new under the sun.
I don't agree with that nonsense.
It's a different forum. The DMs and the Chinese whispers on the line is the same as what's happening in the playground.
That's right.
It's just a different forum. They know how to deal with this.
Nah, these
right.
are
the embarrassment
of
of
for tattoos, bro.
But
No,
not just that though. But
Sorry.
sometimes applying advice from those lived minds, those wise minds, can allow you to make better decisions
I
in your
agree.
situation.
And please don't take what I am saying. The pushback I'm not saying that they have nothing to give us. I'm not saying that, but we are surviving their trauma. We are products of what they didn't have tools to basically use.
Yeah.
And we know that.
Yeah.
So when it is you're saying these flippant, I'm like, I hear you, but let's be specific. Because in every single situation, we might have to look at it differently.
Yeah, and they have to get tweaked and stuff and that. And like I'm saying, like, I get it, but at the same time, we all have gone. Our parents all told us stuff that we didn't listen to when we were younger that hit home at some point.
I agree, but
all of
again,
all of us.
It's real. It's
And
real.
they wasn't living through what I lived through. It was a different time, different technology, but it still hit home. They still told me. They still prepared me for this shit.
That's right.
yeah. Do you resent your parents for anything?
Nah. I think part of growing up and becoming a parent yourself, you look back at their experience and you can understand it a little bit more. Like for me, I'd realized there's no playbook to this thing. Everybody is just winging it with the best of intentions. So when you kind of look back with grace and you see that and go, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I hear that. You did what you was doing with what you had.
And then you take what you think is, and
go forward with it.
And this is what I'm saying. You pick and choose.
Yeah.
You don't take everything. Right? You
I'm not
choose
saying
the best stuff.
Okay, cool. So when I'm saying listen to you, I'm not saying take what they say and just go with that. No, because some people got toxic parents.
100%.
And their parents want to see them lose.
100%. And that's
So-
why I said you can't just say that. You can't apply it to that. Let's look at case by case by case. Let's get back to the question of arranged marriage in this particular context. So if back in the day it was do as I say, right? I know best for you.
Yeah.
Because I'm caring about our family arrangements right now. When it is where we're marrying you off, it's not for you, sir. It's for what we have here.
Yeah.
Until it is you're ready to basically take on this particular thing and continue. I don't know if it is that you would agree with your parents deciding who you are going to marry. Travis.
It just, but you also have to factor in the time when the risks are, like when the stakes are survival, it's a very different decision-making process.
120%.
Because if I know keeping this empire together, we're keeping our generations and everything intact, this is the stakes. And if you're saying you come and you're going to fumble this because you found love over there, and this could all be jeopardized, brother, get in line.
I agree.
Otherwise, you become the op now.
And all you're doing is telling us why it was important for them to deploy that then.
That's right.
But we're in now. Are you up for arranged marriages now without there being a love component, an interest component in this day and age?
So the goal, so what would the stakes be? The stakes would be whether or not your compatibility. They would be only looking to see if you guys could make it to the end.
That would be the nicest, most ideal thing, right?
But that's what I'm saying. So if that's the only thing,
let's consult with our children to see if it is this is something that we both can. But what you're talking about is no, you're not feeding into this particular decision. I am telling you, based on what I am seeing, this is the best for the family.
I need to understand the concept of best for the family. Because if there is no empire to protect and it's literally a case of just us having good vibes, you wouldn't need to have such a heavy part in that decision making.
And that's why I spoke about
happy to take
possessions and money. And you're talking about the top 1% or not the majority.
Okay, so you have an empire, TMB. Would you subscribe to that? There's a weight
Would I ask the question?
to making your child get.
No, I'm not going to choose for my children if I have any children.
Huh?
I'm not going to choose.
You're not going to choose?
No. That is mad. I don't want my parents to choose for me. Why am I going to basically look to tell my children?
No, I'm not saying that you need to, but I'm just saying in terms of like the concept of an empire in this modern world.
I would tell them, choose well or else you're not getting keys. Every decision has some consequence, right? And it's on me to make sure that they're read with the right minerals to basically make the right choice. And whatever it is they do, okay, cool. Just as long as it is that it falls within that kind of barometer of there's respect there, there's love there, there's honor there, all these particular things, cool. I might not like that person, right? But once it is that you don't come true, call me Brent, don't do that.
But I mean,
have your life.
But what's funny though is that some people are they're climbing society ladders off their own accord. Like some people are like, this guy's rich, this guy has this, I'm gonna marry this person, have kids, and be cool over there. That's not an arranged marriage, but the reasons and motivations behind it.
I agree. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah there's a lot of dynamics to this.
Yeah, I don't know if I would ever subscribe to removing love and an actual desire and longing to basically make something work with that person, because even it's a choice. I believe even that particular contract, you still have to wake up and choose to basically work towards fulfilling that.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And if there is some sort of love there, then it's going to be easier than not.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's like people being in relationships with people they're not attracted to on a physical level. When them arguments are kicking off and that person's over there sleeping and snoring, it's just this ugly person on the other side of the room chatting shit.
That's
Rough.
tough because some people know that their partners are ugly.
Really?
Because they've had to convince themselves, no, they're a good person.
What does that mean, though? I don't understand what that means.
What?
Because they're with them because they desire them. They might believe that the world might think they're ugly.
It's
but
not desire. It's not desire.
Talk to me.
Some people are in situations out of convenience.
Talk to me.
There's some man that got nowhere to sleep, bro.
Okay, so they're down and they've chosen to basically get in with this because they want like a roof and food.
Like I told you, there's no excuse for man to be homeless. I would never be homeless. I would always be able to find a bed. That being said, the landlord might not be of the standard you associate with
That's
me.
fine. That
Man's homeless,
decisions out of necessity, right?
Yeah.
But what's that? That means nothing to me. In this
No, but then you fall into it. I've seen a man say like, man, go through stuff.
and you fall in love with that person.
No, it's not life. It's not about love. I've seen a man get
Survival, though.
I've seen a
No,
man.
I hear it, I hear it.
I've seen a man get patterned up by a drone when they're down bad going through it, and like people, you just make it when someone just makes themselves necessary in their
They're in
life.
there.
Oh, come pull up. Oh, I went shopping for you, babe.
He's cooking.
Sainsbury's, ready to
Cooking.
pack up, thing, rare. Oh, what? I need. I heard on the phone. He comes. Oh, I heard you ain't got.
Listen.
Oh, wait, what? You need that weed, babe?
Donnie's-
Here's the money, man. Weed, ready to pattern up. Oh yeah, what? The new FIFA's at. Oh, what? I see your friend.
Donnie's putting in
FIFA.
Hall of Fame
You know what
performances
I'm
in the
saying?
bedroom.
Like,
Donnie's out there sweating.
and then you fall into that, and then you pattern, and people are humans. Some man just know when their bread's buttered, and they say, you know
crazy.
what? I got to put down some roots here quickly for a bit, just for a bit, because I need this.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you've been with her 2 years. You got you on the way, and she's needy,
That's him now.
and that's you now.
And
you're
he's
stressed.
and he's walking on the high street, and it has that moment where he just looks at his missus. It's like,
Okay.
yeah, she's dead, but I'm good. I'm comfy.
A minute, the bus
That's
is coming.
wild.
The bus is coming down the high road, and he's thinking, if I just push her now,
Wow.
He's taking a left there. Still, he's taking a left. I'm getting out of the car, bro. This is some where's the hood? Open up, bro. Let me out the window.
where you going, Ricky, man?
I got a future, bro.
All right. So you definitely, Travis, you're definitely not going to basically choose your children's partners.
Nah, man. Nah. You gotta let them. Do you know what I mean? The only thing I would intervene on is if I felt like toxicity was present or there was abuse or whatnot going on. That's the only time. Outside of that, I'm gonna do my best to prepare you as best you can be and just let you go and live your life.
I agree that that's the best way for these gens, anyway.
Yeah. You're not telling
100%.
them. You're not doing that today, unless they subscribe to that already. But most people are not really doing that unless it's a cultural thing.
Okay, so just to round this up, could you give got any tidbits, we could discuss any help, any manageable steps towards managing change, towards overcoming the fear of change? I don't know, setting short-term goals. I don't know what it may be, but how would you suggest facing your fears and embracing change, guys?
I think it starts with an open mind. Like even on the entertainment level, there's a lot of comics when social media blew up. It was like digging their heels in. Nah, I ain't gonna be doing the sketches and thing because I'm a stand-up comic and da-da-da-da-da. And some men would just like jump straight in. And it's like, bro, the world has evolved. You can't still have these archaic views of how you're gonna do business. And some men have changed and they found it comfortable. Do you know what I mean? Some men have found a nice little hybrid of the way they want to do things. And some men are just in the abyss, fam. Just, you know what I mean? It's like they don't exist in this current climate. So that's those stubborn approaches. You've got to have an open mind if you're really trying to stay and keep up with how the world is moving.
That is so unique because I think I kind of witnessed that from some comedians, and then you would hear the type of analysis from those who've managed to basically cut through, and then they're now looking at them as like you was too stubborn to feed yourself, like that don't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
If it is that you are like skillful, you'd be able to basically walk into the future. You understand?
Yeah.
Things are changing. You
Absolutely.
can't do the same thing over and over again. You don't have that particular privilege. So, what was the question? So, you managed to do that well. And now you've basically looked to pivot into acting. I don't see you basically looking back now, to be honest. Once you got your foot in, you're like, I'm going to stay here, right? And it's so amazing to see because I know that for the longest while you've been trying to basically get in this particular space. And the fact that you've been on this massive screen and you smashed it is crazy.
Thank you, bro.
What are certain things that you definitely wouldn't compromise on, though? Yes, you've walked into the future. Yes, you've managed to basically do the things that the young people are doing and do it well. But what will you not compromise on when it comes to the art of comedy?
I don't think it's limited to the art of comedy. I just think it's just me as a person. Like, if I don't believe in something, I don't care what's attached to it. I'm not doing it. I just, like, if it doesn't, like, for me, I'm one of these people, like, even on our boxing podcast, right, we got this thing where it's just like, keep the same energy. Do you know what I mean? If you're talking about a fighter, if you can't say it to his face, don't say it on this podcast. And that's put us in some sticky situations. Do you know what I mean? Because when we're there in person, we hold each other to account. And it can be like, to the outside, it looks like, oh, he's throwing him under the bus. But it's like, nah, bro, this is the contract that we've signed in private. This is how it's going to go. And that's kind of leaked into my life now, where I'm like, I'm going to be real in all situations in any room that I'm in. So with that, I'm not going to be like parking that because this is a big opportunity and I kind of have to play ball. Nah, bro. Do you know what I mean? So there is that element where I'm like, no, I'm not going to do certain things. If you're prepared to do it, I'm not judging you, but you know my line. Do you know what I mean? And it will kind of reflect in the work that I put out. There's certain things you don't see from me and you won't see from me. I'm not going to be out here protesting and barking and be like, I don't do what these men are doing. No, let them carry on. But you'll see the difference between us as the story gets told. So that's kind of how I approach my career.
And do you look sadly at the comedians in your particular space that saw changing into the new hybrid model as nah, that's diluting the art?
Nah, I wouldn't say that. Like, the comedy space is a tricky space to operate in. Do you know what I mean? Everybody's going to find their voice and they're going to find their way of doing things. You've got Dave Chappelle, you've got Kevin Hart. They're not the same comics, but they are in the same world. So there's always going to be different approaches to how you do things. I think for me, it's less about looking at what other men are doing and more focusing and leaning into who I am, what my voice is. For me, I like to talk about difficult conversations. I like to lean into the ugly stuff and find humor in it because it's real. Dave Chappelle was someone I look at and I value his contribution to the comedy game. Fortunately, been blessed enough to be able to work with him. But being around that type of mind, that level of integrity, that's the standard for me to try and strive to. So, you know, I don't look at people who decide to operate in social media and think less of them. I more look at the substance behind some things. I always look for substance. At this stage of my life, I can't really just be like, oh, that's a shiny thing, let me watch this to distract myself for an hour. I like to take something away from this. So the artists I draw to tend to be those type of guys. So that's just the lane that I'm in. But, you know, other people want to do what they want to do. I'm like, hey, man, if it's working for you and you're paying your mortgage, run it, bro.
Okay.
But as long as you ain't bringing down the community, then might step to you.
All right, okay.
All right. That was a great topic of the day. Thanks, Travis.
Cool.
Let's get into more headlines.
Oh, there's a question.
Oh, is there?
Let's see if it is it. Of course, Travis would answer this question. Of course. Hold up. Let me just put it up on the screen. Ed.
Taking your sweet time. Should I just read it? Because I can see it.
Just read it, yeah.
Ed says, speaking on compromise, where does Travis fall on the black men shouldn't wear a dress?
Boy. Yeah, I don't see that in my future personally on the wig thing. But, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, how deep does this conversation go? Because a lot of time, obviously, this started with Chappelle in an interview. I believe it was on the Actors Studio. I watched this years ago, and I remember hearing it and thinking, "Wow, that's that's interesting that there was, you know, they offered him the option of you wear a dress, and the minute he declined, immediately there was already another option available. But then you look at, say, Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire and other films that have happened with men from different cultures, and you can go on a comedy level where you say, okay, as a comedian, I can see why this works and why these are choices that get made. But then you look on the other, deeper, darker of the emasculation of the black man and the image that they're trying to put out and kind of, you know, bring down in that way. And you kind of go, okay, maybe there is a deeper, darker. I mean, personally, like, I don't have a concrete stance on this. Whether or not, in terms of what I would willing to do, no.
I like that conspiracy because it's layered. There's lots going on there, you get me? When you hear from different sides, there's a lot of, especially comedians as well, or white actors that have wore dresses and wore wigs. It's a thing. It's a thing in Hollywood. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So when they're saying that they're making the black man do it to demasculate them, that argument that, well, what are you talking about? Like you're saying, Robert Williams, Jim Carrey, they've done it. Like big stars have done it. So there's that argument there, but that argument's a little bit disingenuous as well because culturally we're different.
We're different to how they operate. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
there's things that are acceptable in that society. Like you see, like you even see, like in this culture, like there's like white boy jokes are like white boy jokes are different.
Different league. Yeah. No,
these white boys will do mad things that we would look at and say, "Right, is my man? Are you alright over there? Like that's a bit strange." But to them, it's banter. And so culturally, that's acceptable. So they can do crazy things, run up on a man and squeeze his balls and not be shunned in society.
No, I hate you 100%.
You know what I'm trying to say?
100%.
So because you lot can do that and not be shunned in your society and whatnot, is that fair for you lot to push that over on us? Over here, we don't really do that stuff.
But then it's also one of them things where it's like you look at it and go, but we can't disregard the deeper, darker conspiracy of it all because these things are there. Do you know what I'm saying? These things are definitely there. There are certain things. It's like, for example, when people have issues with, why is it a black show and it's violence? And that's not really the issue that there's violence. It's the issue, why is it only ever these are the shows that we get to make?
Yeah.
Is the deeper, darker that's the messaging for that community that you push out. So, you know, I'd never ridicule it, but, you know what I mean? On a personal one, I'm not doing that.
Have you got a number?
What do you mean? My number.
That you will be addressed.
Yeah, £2 million for this role. You know,
Bro,
leave
listen.
2 million.
One thing about me, I need to be cool with who I see in the mirror first thing in the morning. So that's my compass for my decision making. If I know I'm gonna look and second guess how I feel in that moment, I'm not going. And that's just it. Do you know what I mean? Because you might get the money might feel good and you might be able to kind of, you know, forget about it for a little while because the bread is nice. But that feeling is the feeling where down the line you start to see certain behaviors come out. You see the book gets released where the man want to tell all of a sudden, and there's a bit of unhappiness in there. These seeds come from those moments. And fortunately, I've been blessed to have my mum as a mentor, Angela Ma. She's been in the game. She's foundation black comedy in this country. The convos that we have and the insight she's given me to how stories have played out. I've got case study after case study after case study of knowing from eras gone before. I know those compromising moments, they stick with you. And that's the part where I'm like, nah, I'm keeping my conscience and myself clean in that way. So whilst I kind of have an open mind in terms of what you men are willing to do, and I'll say, okay, cool, I'm not going to be out here throwing judgment. I'm not God, bro. But I know where I stand. And as the story gets told, we'll see how this thing is played out. So that's my stance on how I choose to operate.
Marks has a number.
What's my address?
What's your number, fam?
I don't know, man. 20 million or something?
20 mil?
No.
What are you doing for 20 mil?
No, I was talking about wearing a dress in a film or something like that. But no, I don't think I'd want to. I don't think I'd want to do it. Because it'll stick there forever. Like, what happens when the money runs out? 2 decades time and the film's still...
Running through 20 mil is crazy, though. Like, you need to know that bread is going to last, bro.
No, that's true. But they're not going to give me the 20 mil. But yeah, I wouldn't... Like, now... No, like, someone couldn't make me do that now. For any number, because it just don't make sense. It don't fit with my story. It's like... it's a bit crazy. I couldn't
randomly,
justify it.
randomly being in a film with 20 mil. It's like, what? Raw, Bugs. That means you did more behind camera, bro. How'd you get into this arena, dog? Man been going for years, ain't never had that offer, bro.
I was thinking about it. You were talking about like, it's like for real. Like I said, I just think it's culturally like I think we're just different because when I was just thinking about it, you just think it's like the man. Like it's like we don't need to do that. Why? I don't want to be in a wig and a dress and that. Like,
yeah, our story and journey into the game is different. Do you know what I mean? Black comics and white comics, they're never gonna feel exactly the same. Do you know what I mean? We operate in the same space, but the story and how we got here is very, very, very different. And there's no running away from that. So that's why you can't just, oh, them man are doing it. It's cool for us. It's like, nah, there is a different kind of route to this.
All right. Well, that's great. Oh, so let's get into our headlines.
Make sure to retweet the thing, please, Mags. Thank you.
What thing?
No.
Shit, I gotta get a Teams call. What time do they want that? Fucking hell. Did I just swear again?
You didn't, apparently.
No, see, because I didn't swear at anybody. I was talking to myself. Do you see what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. That's why they shouldn't count as swear words.
Okay.
They shouldn't count because you're not using them in that way. Do you see my logic, Brent?
Yes, but that wasn't what that exercise that person was doing, and it had nothing to do with what you're saying.
Yeah, no. So moving forward, they should only use offensive, like aggressive, like swear words that are like an act of aggression. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Not like miscellaneous shit. Like it's crazy. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. Next headlines, people. Trigger warning here. Is that Gwent? A Gwent police officer has been found guilty of sexually abusing a young girl under the age of 13. Damn. A Gwent police officer has been found guilty of 5 counts relating to the sexual abuse of a child. John Stringer, who's 42 from Cardiff, had denied the accusations. But today, after just over a day of deliberation, the jury returned guilty verdicts on all charges. They unanimously found Stringer guilty of 2 counts of sexual assault by touching and 1 charge of causing or inciting a child to engage in sexual activity. He was also found guilty of a further charge of causing or inciting a child to engage in sexual activity and 1 charge of causing a child to watch a sexual act by majorities of 11-1 and 10-2 respectively. Judge Daniel Williams thanked the jury of 9 men and 3 women and remanded Stringer in custody until sentencing on October 28th. The police constable is currently suspended from his duties with Gwent Force. It's a police officer, you know.
Bun him, fam.
Our next headline, Sadiq Khan's Ulez expansion failed to lower pollution levels, reports claims. Shock. Sadiq Khan's controversial Ulez expansion to outer London failed to lower pollution levels, a report has found. Bromley Council saw pollutants emitted by vehicles increase after the £12.50 daily charge was imposed last August. The council measured no overall lowering in pollution in the months after Mr Khan's expanded the zone to cover the whole of London. The report claims in November last year, 3 months after the Ulez expansion, levels of polluted nitrogen dioxide were higher across all the boroughs, 32 air quality monitoring locations, than they were the preceding August. The increase was blamed on seasonal weather and temperature variations, and only 8 of the locations saw more nitrogen dioxide by December last year than in August 2023. And our last headline is Australia plans social media minimum age limit, angering youth digital advocates. Australia plans to set a minimum age limit for children to use social media, citing concerns about mental and physical health, sparking a backlash from digital rights advocates who warn the measure could drive dangerous online activity underground. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said his centre-left government would run an age verification trial before introducing age minimum laws for social media this year. Albanese didn't specify an age, but said it would likely be between 14 and 16. I want to see kids off their devices and onto their footy fields and the swimming pools and the tennis courts, Albanese told the Australian Broadcasting Corp. We want them to have real experiences with real people because we know that social media is causing social harm, he added. The law would put Australia among the first countries in the world to impose age restriction on social media. Previous attempts, including by the European Union, have failed following complaints about reducing the online rights of minors. Now it's time to pay some bills. And we can get into our interview section.
I'm good stuff. Yeah, safe.
Oh, welcome to the interview section. Are we doing 140?
Yeah, because he has to beat Cis's score.
How did you do last time?
He was the top. Cis had to basically dethrone him. Disgusting.
Okay, cool.
And it's just you firing back and forth. So you have to basically, because if he doesn't do it, it's gonna be blamed on you because you weren't fast enough.
All right, let's go then. 140 BPM. Questions. Let's get this.
Look at me, boy. I hope I don't do worse than I did last time. That'll be flipping embarrassing, fam. You sent me that message and it just irritated me, fam. I was like, nah. I was joint top, fam.
All right.
All right, let's go. I don't have a good feeling about this. I'm not gonna lie.
And then we do this. Pew. Okay. All right. Margs, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Be on job, yeah. 3, 2, 1.
AJ or Dubois?
AJ.
42 minus 24 is what?
18.
Hydraulic acid and water both contain what element?
Pass.
Harris or Trump?
Harris.
WC on toilet door stands for what?
Flipping a pass.
Rudolph Walker starred as Patrick in what British sitcom?
EastEnders.
Nas or Jay-Z?
Nas.
TV license fee is used to fund what?
Nonsense.
What comedian's surname is a synonym for the word before?
Keep it going. Move. Pass.
Elon or Jeff?
Jeff.
What is the main ingredient in fufu?
Pass.
What is the capital of Brazil?
Rio de Janeiro.
Bus or train?
Bus.
Finish the sentence. Boycott.
Pass.
Who is the foreign secretary of the UK?
I'm doing bad. Pass.
Economics or politics?
Economics.
Are you
Terrible. Terrible, bruv. See, this is why you got to humble yourself and just guys find a corner and chill, bruv. I saw my man come in and do amazing and just win the whole thing. And this brother DM me and goes, yo, he took your record. I said, raw, Tuesday, I'm there. Now I come and go make the thing worse. Don't add this to the tally. No one needs to know this happened. Oh, it's embarrassing, bruv. And the maddest thing is, as the questions are coming, my mind is slowing down even more. I'm thinking, all right, Trav, just focus. I'm ruining it, bruv. Nah, man. Diabolical. Man said boycott. Oh, I'm thinking, what?
No, did that finish the sentence? Boycott. You could have just said whatever you wanted.
I could have said anything and it would have been right.
Yeah, just ask me what you want to boycott.
Open goals and I'm just there. Leave. Shocking. Sorry that everyone had to see
42, 24, 18. You got that right. Hydraulic acid and water both contain hydrogen. Nonsense. You missed that. The WC on the toilet door stands for water closet.
This is insane. You
got Rudolph Walker as Patrick in EastEnders. That's cool. TV license fee is used to fund the BBC. You said nonsense. I would give you that point.
That's right.
I would give you that point. What comedian's name is a synonym for the word before? Pryor. Richard Pryor.
I just feel stupid. The fact that you give me the answers now, I'm like, I don't even know if I want this. Diabolical, bruv.
The main ingredients in fufu is yam.
Someone in the chat said, how did you pass on and finish the sentence? Listen, it was a diabolical showing. You know, howler, boy.
Pass on and finish the sentence is you was under pressure.
I was rattled. I'm thinking, bruv, give me an easy one, fam.
Oh, the capital of Brazil. Brasilia, man.
Mad. Diabolical.
Rio always gets people, but it's Brasilia.
I almost said Sao Paulo. Yeah, it's all over the place, man.
And the foreign secretary is David Lammy.
Hey, listen. Hey, shouts out to my man, innit? He come in there and done a madness, fam. He's the...
But fair, he got some like underarms in it.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Very easy questions he got.
Okay, cool, but you lot set me up with the hard one. It's all right.
Emmanuel sent me a message saying, all right,
Get him out of it.
Don't use the ones that you're supposed to use for Travis. Use these ones. We give us new ones. Do you understand?
more.
So he never want you to win.
So
Never.
he's an up now.
He's
That's
a
all right.
hater.
That's all right.
An absolute hater.
All right, well, let's get into our interview. Obviously, you was up here before and you told us you had big things going on, but you couldn't reveal what they was. And then I was sitting in my yard and I saw you pop up on my screen. I got a big TV as well. You know, I see you.
Come on, bro.
You was dead there. It was lit.
Thank you, bro.
Shouts out for you and Super Self and all your success and all that. And I do want to get into all that. But I'd prefer to start, first things first. How you feeling about the up and coming tour, man?
Oh, listen, I'm excited, bro. Like, this tour is a special one for me because I'm like, even calling it Travesty, that's my old nickname when I used to play basketball. So it's like tapping into who I used to be back then with my modern kind of where I'm at with stand-up. It's kind of been the theme for me this year where it's like, I've taken things to just new levels. I used to pull up and play basketball. I'd pull up to random courts around the country and play. I was so determined to see who the best was.
Oh, what position?
I used to play shooting guard.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And like Midnight Madness, when that was like dominant, they used to have runs all up and down the country, be traveling, bruv, booking the train, pulling up and just doing my best just to see where I rank in this thing. Like, I've always had this thing, I just need to know the truth of where I am in the game. So this year...
man, I was cooking last night, man. I was averaging 25 and 8.
Oh, you play ball? Okay. What'd you play?
PlayStation, NBA 2K.
I was waiting.
No, I'm telling you, Trevor.
You know what? No.
I was in my bag, bro.
Brother, I'm waiting for man to tell you a gym or a team name. But I said, yeah, 2K, bro. We said you and LeBron James was going the whole way,
I
bro.
was doing my thing, yeah? But sorry, let's get back in the car. Let's get back in the car. Travesty tour. What can people expect? What can we expect from the tour, man?
Nah, it's an insightful one. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I was saying before, just in terms of like pulling up, like this year I went to LA. I went to LA 3 times and just really getting into the circuit out there. I've done a lot of stand-up last 2 years abroad and really testing my pen and just seeing how broad and how far this goes. You know what I mean?
How's the British comedy received over there?
I really enjoyed it, man. Like today I'm putting out my set that I did at the Chocolate Sundays at Laugh Factory. And it's funny because like you pull up and now British culture is being introduced out there. There's a lot of questions. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Top Boys come out, Supercells come out, and there's that whole thing of like, oh yeah, I really got like...
There's cultural references that you can draw on and add to your set and stuff that they can relate to, so there's not just the blank stares when you're saying things.
Trust me, bro.
That's dope.
Do you know what I mean? But then there was a little stigma like backstage before like me and KG went out there, yeah? Because we were there for the boxing, for the Terence Crawford fight. So in this time, I got to perform at the Comedy Store and at Laugh Factory. Backstage, them man, they don't hold back no feelings. Them man are like, UK comics ain't really like funny though. Like, I'm about to go on. And they're just like, oh, I've seen a couple of you, man. It's not really... So like, I'm looking at it as like a challenge now. Do you know what I mean? KG's going mad. KG's having the big debate. I'm like, listen, you man hold this corner. I'm going to go hold my corner and just do my thing and just get zoned in. So I go out, perform, goes well. Afterwards, the energy's different. And I'm like, okay, yeah, salute. So in a way, like it's like now we're starting to kind of meet and just have those experiences. But for me, it's important to pull up in spaces where you man take this craft serious. Like I feel like UK comedy is not fruitful in terms of the foundation of what this is about, in my opinion. Like, it used to be like the camaraderie that I saw out there with the LA circuit, different league. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Comics, they look out for each other, they're around each other. Like, it's not a case of, I want to head top everybody, get you man out of here, we're not cool. There's a real kind of like, we're in this thing together. And I think culturally, that's where this thing starts.
Yeah, I've seen that from watching watching documentaries and stuff or like interviews and hearing stories and seeing that there's people that come up and they're famous and loads of them are successful. Yeah. And when you hear the stories, they was down in the dumps together. Brother. They was working the circuit together. Yep. You get me? No peas, sleeping in cars, on the come up, believing in each other. And obviously it would be because obviously they're hungry, they got deals, but they know that they're talented and they pushing each other and driving each other on and they all make it. Like, that's sick. Is that community over here in England?
Nah. No way. Not even slightly. It's very cliquey, it's closed off, and people ain't really rolling with each other like that. And it's mad because you look at all the stories of the greats. You know, you have like Chris Rock bringing in Chappelle and then all these other people, and you start thinking, right, I didn't even know you lot were like that. But they know that they kind of need to be together. And also there seems to be like a different level of hunger for greatness on that side. Like where a comic who's massive following online, millions of followers online, popping in late notice to a comedy club to just sharpen up this 5 minutes of material. Like that hunger that you see when you see people at the top moving like that. Nowadays, you might not see a brother over here who's touring. You might not see him until he's on tour. He's not really out here active like that. Whereas out there, it's a consistent thing. Any big name could drop in
at any
test
given
some
night,
stuff
innit?
out. Yeah, so when you're around that energy and the hunger is there and people are like, yo, bro, I just saw your set. I got this idea for you which would suit your voice and da-da-da-da-da. The environment was so inspiring because I'm thinking, right, like, you men are TV names. And we're having convos because the core of everybody, we love this thing. And I think some people love it, some people are doing it.
Couldn't you bring that energy over here? Couldn't you implement that on a trailblazer thing and lead the charge and get the community together and build the relationships that need to be built?
Yeah, I mean, it's not, you know, one person's not going to be responsible for a culture. And at the end of the day, we still have our own things that we want to maintain. Like, if we don't have a similar vision, that's not going to change how you do your thing. But I think over there, and I think where I guess it kind of was a bit annoying for me to experience is obviously I've got a bit of an insight to how my mum's era was when they were starting out. They needed to be together. Do you understand? Because that's the pioneering era. They're introducing a whole new culture to a space that doesn't really allow for black comics to be free like that. So when they speak about how they were doing things, at its core, it's protest.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm trying to say? There was a bigger why. Whereas I think now when it's modern day, I think there's a bit of a comfortability where it's like, you're not really fighting for anything. Do you know what I'm saying? When you used to hear comics speak, when I spoke earlier about the substance, I look for substance because this is the world that we're in. Older comics, they rarely just do, we're just talking about nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we living through some real shit. This is our moment to kind of have a space to speak freely and breathe. So you got the comics, you know, your Felix Dexters, your Leo Muhammad, Miles Crawford, my mum, Angie Lamar, Jefferson and Whitfield. That first kind of class of comics, there was about a bit more John Simmet and all that kind of stuff. So when they're building this thing and they're touring this thing up and down the country, it means more. It's kind of like how black churches were started. We believe in God, but you're not allowing us to kind of do your thing. We're going to form our thing and move. That's an act of protest. Whereas I think the modern day, it's gotten a bit comfortable. Do you know what I mean? We're not supposed to be out here doing our absolute best to be palatable. Do you know what I mean? We can't agree. For me, I'm happy to stand alone in terms of what I'm on and what I'm about, but my skill as a comic should be allowed to let you in. The idea that I want to relate to every single person in the room is wild.
That makes sense.
Do you know what I'm saying? And I think this era of my career, I've had more success being myself in a very unapologetic fashion in front of whoever. And so my desire to go abroad was to see how much that translates. And what I'm starting to realize is authenticity connects with authenticity anywhere you go.
Is that a desire for you to make it abroad? What would be a bigger thing for you, blowing up over in America or being more successful at home?
I think for me, it's more about being happy and being able to be where I can be free with my expression. And going to America, I definitely did enjoy that a lot more than I thought I would.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there are some things that we carry here which don't necessarily allow you to kind of fight 100%. That's why you might see somebody blow up and they just change their voice entirely. And you're just like, right, like, what's going on? And that's obviously a choice that people make. But out in America, it seems like they're a bit more well-versed in that kind of raw expression. You got a Chappelle out there. You got comics who really do push the line. And there's loads more coming up. Like I saw Tony Baker perform out there, just beasting out there. Sidney Castillo, another like savage comic. He's hilarious. And there's so many more that we don't necessarily know about because maybe they don't have a Netflix or whatnot. But that element is present there.
Well, are you thinking you can't, to get on in England, like in that mainstream proper, you have to code switch?
When I first started operating in the mainstream space, I probably did code switch because it's almost like that natural job interview, prop your back up, say, hey, how you doing, mate? You all right? You don't realize it slips in. Whereas now I kind of just discard that. And I think people are meeting me on my frequency a lot more this way round because again, it's that genuine energy. Like it's gonna win in the end.
Yeah, nah. That's dope. That
Yeah,
is dope. So, what kind of like experiences are you drawing on for the material for the tour?
So for me, like, so it kind of follows on from my last show, right? The last show was me kind of really reacting to my first experience with therapy.
Okay.
What that did for me, what that opened up my perspective. This show was really following on from that. Now it's just like, right, like I've carried a lot of nonsense just to kind of exist in society, discarding that. And this is like a real raw kind of insight into where I'm at right now. Do you know what I mean? I've had a lot of experience, a lot of traveling the last year and a half, a lot more than I ever thought I would ever travel. I've been on planes like crazy this year.
Has that changed your comedy?
Yeah, because there's a lot more insight. A lot more insight. Do you know what I mean? You meet a lot of people like learning different stories, different experiences. Like, for example, I had a great conversation with this brother at a coffee shop in Cannes in France. And we're just sitting and chatting, and he's like saying, yeah, I just got back from Brazil, and we're having a good chat. And he's basically telling me about like, because you know, Brazil has the most black people outside of Africa in the world.
Yeah.
And he's basically talking about there's civil rights stories that are, you know, the equivalents to the names that we know, your Malcolm X's and da-da-da-da. They've got their stories out there. Like it's a deeper black experience than we've been privy to in, you know, other parts of the world. And it's like that convo sent me off on a thing where now I'm making it my business to look into it. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think just traveling, just having those insights, those gem of moments, they change you. Do you know what I mean? And that's the part where I'm just like, I'm bringing this into the show where I'm just like, I'm at a different stage in my life, married now, had a baby in the last year. Like there's just so many different things that have changed. And I haven't really even performed in London much this year, but I've been doing a lot of stand-up. So it's that thing where I'm quite excited to catch up with my home audience, first of all, but also, yo, it's different energy than anything you've seen from me.
What's the set, like an hour?
Hour, probably go a bit over an hour, yeah.
How long does it take to craft the hour?
For me, I say like, probably like, this show I've been working on since November last year.
Okay.
But I've done some of my previous hours in like 3-4 months.
Okay.
Where it's a thing where it's like, I know what I want to say, I just haven't put it down yet. Do you see what I'm saying? Like I'm one of those writers that I'm constantly writing. So today I might think of something, bam, and I'm just making a note and da-da-da-da-da. When it's time to put a show together, then I will compile and see what makes sense to be a full show. But, you know, for me, I'm like, I write from a good place when I feel the need to speak. Like I'm not just going to do a show next year because you do a show every year. I kind of wait for that feeling to come and I go, okay, cool, let's run with it.
Okay. How many cities is it all?
28.
God damn.
Yeah. So 26 UK ones, and then there's one in Copenhagen and there's another one in New York. So yeah, man, trying to build on that.
So what's been some of the biggest challenges preparing for that? That must be hard, getting all the events. I know it's like doing events and you got to go and find the dates that coincide in the cities and everything else, and they got to match up and this one and that one.
It's different, bro. Like it's one of them things where it's like Supercell coming out and kind of people see me in that space has helped, you know, like just the awareness in all these different cities. But also it's that thing, it's my first tour. So I don't know what my name is really doing in the back end of Southampton. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like, now I'm really going to see who's showing up for me on the tour. So I'm excited for it. I'm, you know, a bit nervous and stuff like that. But also, I just love just new experiences. Do you know what I mean? It's a first time in a while where I'm experiencing something new. So it's that thing for me. I'm just like, okay, I get to feel that new comic feeling again. And yeah, bruv, like, I'm going to be vlogging the whole thing and just letting people into the whole experience. But yeah, I'm very excited, man. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's one of the things where you hear a lot of successful people say, enjoy the journey. And I've really started to buy into that now because little milestones happen and it's easy to just go, all right, let's go forward. Let's go to the next thing. Whereas now I'm like, right, bro, like I've been looking forward to doing a tour since I started. This is a big deal. So I'm going to just soak up the moment and enjoy it. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's a massive deal, man. Tours are fun. Are they like, is it like back to back? Any breaks in there?
Nah, there's a lot of breaks. So we try to stay on like popular comedy days.
Okay.
So a lot of it is like the last few days of the week, each week. Yeah. So it'll start September 18th and kick off and go right through to the end of November. So yeah, man, I'm excited.
That's dope.
Excited.
That is dope.
How do you deal with hecklers?
How do I do with hecklers?
Yeah.
I kind of have a counter-punching approach. If you don't strike at me, we'll be cool. because I know that I've got a full show to do. But if you want to be a part of the show, you'll definitely be a part of the show. That's it. Like nowadays, obviously, crowd work, you see a lot of crowd work clips on the internet. And those are kind of like easy clips to put out because you're not burning material. You still get to be on socials. And I like it, but I'm not like a huge crowd work guy.
Okay.
I like my pen. So for me, I'm like, hey, I've written something and I really want to make you guys laugh. But if you interrupt that, now you've pissed me off. Let's scrap.
Have you ever done that crowd work stuff? Like I've seen, because it's getting popular now. There's people that will go up there with no set and just literally just
vibes,
just interact with the crowd and just say, all right, let's see where it's going. And I mean, you get to see people how quick-witted they are and how often they can just work off the cuff, and it gives you a different look into comedians. You're like, oh, you know what? You're genuinely funny. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I like seeing that.
Yeah.
Do you ever do that? Do you ever just walk in somewhere and just
all the
riff?
time? There's some nights, where your material, it's not, this room ain't a material room.
Okay.
They want vibes. They want to be a part of the show. If they're standing there with your long 6-minute story about how you got mattresses, brother, they're not interested in that. Do you know what I mean? Chat to this person and you'll have fun, bro. I enjoy it so much. But like for me, when it's a tour thing, I'm like, okay, this is my show and this is what's going to happen. But certain times, go off script, bro. Vibes with these people. And that's how you more time will connect with them. And now the environment is ready for you to do your show.
You know how they say that DJs have to basically feel the room in order to control the room? How would you know when you need to go off quote-unquote script and just crowd surf?
It's like an instinct, bruv. Like when you're a comic, you feel.
You say you just born with it, sir?
No. It's the comic. It's the comic instinct.
Right.
Like I'll walk into a room at a comedy club and feel the vibe and kind of know what's required. I'll watch a comic and know what he's about and see how the audience is responding to him, and then I'll kind of know what the vibe is. But in certain times when you see a comic and he's getting he's getting heckled, he's getting bullied a little bit, the crowd are moving a bit mad, the comic in me gets offended. So now I won't smoke with you lot.
So have you ever changed the verse? Have you ever been walking up there to do a set and then see it played out and be like, no, new set?
Absolutely. But sometimes, because, you know what I mean, you think of stuff on the fly. If a comic is talking about something and he's got a joke that's in a similar thing and this person is related to that, you're chatting to them, I might come on and follow that conversation up with my man and take it to another place. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's that thing of just, you got to be fluid with your stuff. Do you know what I mean? I stay nice and loose. When you got your set plan, when I was younger, I'd have my set plan. It'd be like a written script. Glass could smash, a brother walking with a green suit and I won't address nothing because it's just, these are the jokes. Whereas now I'm a bit more relaxed. I can flip it, switch it, go backwards and whatnot. Is what it is.
So y'all are like a gang. You said that if there is a comic getting heckled and bullied, you're going up next to basically like level the playing field.
100%.
Doesn't matter if it is you don't like the guy because backstage he was chatting.
Oh no, I don't care. At this point, we're on the same football team. Do you know what I'm saying? You can't bring him down in front of me, bro. You got, because then if you start feeling like that, my man over there starts feeling like that, and it's like a classroom and you're the supply teacher, and now you're about to get attacked. I'm not having it, bro. I'll make an example out of you, bro.
Do you ever practice the material in real settings? Like not stand up on stage, like
just slip it into convo.
Yeah, say like in public settings, say like there's like 4 or 5 of us here chilling, and then you just look as an opportunity because obviously it's stories, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? This is what we do when we're friends. We tell stories. Some of your friends are good storytellers. They can make jokes. They can set up.
Yeah.
Do you ever think, you know what? Let me just see how this goes, and you just go into something.
They have unnatural conversations. Like obviously,
stick one in.
over there, I was with this light skin girl, and she tried to. No. You know what I mean? Nah, you know what? I used to do that. I used to do it back in the day, loads. I'd slip it in, but you start realizing some of them things that work in banter, it don't work on stage. Yeah, you got to set things up in a special way. So I'll be more like, I listen to this bit. Like I'll happily own it and just let it be what it's going to be. Because there's times where men just they're trying to get into the convo and respond to stuff and you're like cutting them off like, brother, just wait. Let me get this.
Wait for it, wait for it.
Punch is coming.
That's sick. So what's the landscape been like for you since the whole Supercell dropped?
Do you know what the funniest thing is, is getting recognised in countries that I ain't been to before. Like, understanding the scope of a #1 show on Netflix around the world this has been the maddest experience. Getting off in LA, and this brother was just like, he's watching me, and I'm thinking, okay, we've flown from the UK to LA. I'm thinking, you know me from back home, and he's looking at me, he's like, John? Hey, what up, Jazz? He goes, how you do that to your mans like that, bro? And I'm like, oh, snap. He's like, yeah, good shit. And it's that thing of like, after show, like being out and about in LA and people like, hey, yo, I enjoyed your show. That's a new experience. I'm used to going to America the last few times I've been just as an anonymous and kind of enjoying I just walk into a comedy club. They don't even know I do stand up and trying to, but nah, it's dope. But what's been kind of the beautiful part is when you get those messages from people who deal with sickle cell.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? You get those messages, and one video this guy sent me, he was just like, it's so nice to be seen. Do you know what I mean? When you talk about the shows focusing on crises and all these different things, it's like my experience, I feel like a bit powerful. And this guy's like probably like 16 or whatnot. And it's just like, thank you for being involved in that kind of thing. And you start realizing, wow, this work of art is powerful. Do you know what I mean? And it kind of really, I was super humbled to be a part of something like this.
That's dope. When you're saying it's literally just overnight, after it dropped, the next day you went to get milk and I was like, John!
Bro, it's mad, bro. It's one of the ones where I'm getting bare cousins reach out I ain't spoken to in time, fam. And you know it's real when you get that cousin from Jamaica and the only way you don't know each other is through hearing that this person existed.
When foreign people recognize you, it's actually lit still.
It's mad.
You get recognized on holiday, yeah, but it's by English people. It kind of don't count.
Exactly.
You know what I'm trying to say? It's just like, you travel, we travel. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Trust me.
Is what it is. I was in Mexico one time and some you said something and I heard an American accent talking about, and it seems like, says, what going on,
Brother.
I said, who you talking to me?
It's mad. It's mad.
I know my name as well, you know.
Yeah.
But I had to ask him. I said, who you talking to me?
It's nuts.
He's like, yeah, man, like, I'm like, oh, snap. This internet thing's mad.
But you know what? I tell you where it's mad is when I'm like, teachers at my kids' school.
Yeah.
They're clocking, because, bro, I've been enjoying the anonymity, fam. I'm like, you lot don't know the comedy podcasting I do. You don't know nothing. I just come here in my tracksuit and it's calm. And now it's like, and the thing is, they won't say nothing to me, you know? They'll speak to my missus and be like, does your husband do the... Because I did like a kids' TV show as well.
Okay, yeah.
There's a thing I did with Princess Mirabelle. I play a school teacher. And there's kids in the class that watch that show. So the youths, they're clocking man from that show. Teachers are clocking man for the Netflix thing. And it's a bit more like, now the parents want to make small talk and chat to man. And I hate small talk, bro. So now it's just like, yeah, so how's the business going? I'm like, brother, move. I don't want to do this with you, bro.
You got up the hierarchy. You're like the top parent in the playground.
Yeah, it's
now.
like, you know what I mean? Brother, just let's go back to the silence. But yeah, nah, it's cool. It's cool. It's a nice experience. Do you know what I mean?
Small, you liked it, right?
Yeah, low key.
Now you see me.
But where I was gassed though is when my daughter, she messaged, like, she was telling me how her friends are asking her now, is there going to be a season 2? And she's just there holding off everyone like, guys, when there's updates, I'll let you know. Because I remember when I was...
plug now, yeah?
Yeah, fully, bro. But I remember when I was young and, you know, my mum was on TV, like, for Get Up, Stand Up. Do you know what I mean? And that whole era was happening. Do you know what I mean? I was like 5 seasons of that show. And I remember being at school and people were like, hey, Ra, obviously, like, we're not supposed to watch it, but I see your mom on TV and I'm just like, yeah, obviously that's what she does. You know what I mean? I'm used to being in that dynamic. So to know that I've been able to kind of pass that to my daughter is like, okay, that's a bucket list tick still.
Legacy.
Yeah, bro. Legacy's important, man.
So obviously you've been doing acting and stuff, and like I'm saying, Brent saying that you wanted to do stuff like this. Now you've done it. Is that like are you? I made it now. It's top of the mountain.
Oh no,
that.
No, not at all,
Or
man.
we setting new targets, the new heights to reach in.
Absolutely. Like for me, it's probably to a detriment. I don't really ever feel like, okay, now I'm here, now I can show. I don't really celebrate too much stuff. For me, once I get to a thing, it's just like, okay, let's go to the next thing. Do you know what I mean? And I think that kind of helps me kind of stay grounded. Do you know what I mean? And I think right now, whilst I was in the show, there was other main characters who had more of a thing in the show. And I think it's nice to have kind of come in this way. But for me, it's like, this is the beginning.
How did that even come about?
So I've been like training to act and kind of stuff, paying for courses on the side for years. Like, do you know what I mean? Morley's College and all these different places, just any kind of acting courses, show up and get that experience. Because I think as a stand-up comic, a lot of people would be like, he's a storyteller, you can see the performance, he's an actor. But you can't rely on just a natural little thing. You got to work on it, because this acting craft is so much more than meets the eye. Like, a lot of people think they can act because it's just like, yeah, no, that's light. But when you're on set and the pressure's on and you've read your script, you got to understand the subtext, the layers, reacting to other characters. A lot of people think just remembering your lines, you're going to get it done. It's like there's a lot of work that goes into it. So I wanted to be true to the craft and spend that proper time at the same time I kind of give to stand up. So I remember we did a black drunk histories with Ratman.
Okay.
Ratman was hosting it and me and KG were on it. And I remember just chatting to Ratman offset and just kind of saying to him, like, I'm really putting a lot of effort into this acting thing. Do you know what I mean? On the side, I'm really working and doing these other stuff alongside stand-up. And he's just like, yeah, all right, cool. I'll bear that in mind. 2 years later, an audition comes through and it's for this project. I'm thinking, right, has he remembered this? Or is it just one of those blast out auditions that everybody got? Get through, you know what I mean? Eventually bagged the role. I bagged the role the day I was going to do my show at Soho Theatre, right? It was press day. Imagine that's a big, big deal. Ratman phones me up from this unknown number. He's like, yo, man, like, just wanted to tell you myself, bro. You bagged the part, fam.
You sound like him as well.
Brother, I could have cancelled my show that day, bro. I was like, you mad? He's like, yeah, bro, people are going to see you, bro. I know, like they're not going to expect you to be in this, but you belong, fam. And I was like, bro, I appreciate you, like, giving me this role and this opportunity. Go, I ain't give you nothing, fam. You earned it, bro, because I would have gone with someone else if they was better.
Did you find out whether it was a blast out or whether he remembered you?
Nah, so yeah, so we're on set and we're talking. He's like, yeah, nah, I did look for your agent just to give you a shot, just to see what you would have done with the character. So yeah, I was grateful for that opportunity. For me, I always just want the opportunity. I'm not a bringing guy. Do you know what I mean? I don't want it to come off the fact that we got a relationship. Like, even with stand-up, when I first started stand-up, I didn't talk about being my mum's son. I didn't mention it. My stage name there's no link to our names in that way. If you knew, you knew. But I always wanted the respect of doing this thing the proper way. So for it to kind of come this way, it wasn't off the strength of, yeah, Ratman knows me and we're cool and I got to bring in. It's like, yo, I went through the process. So yeah, that's how I got the role, man.
No, that was sick, man. Just speaking of say that what you was talking about, you don't talk about your mum stuff. Do you do like race-based comedy? Is it heavy race? Is that heavy? I know that as black comedians, it's always the race wars is big on their
I think
big on their thing, and I feel like it hits different with Americans than it does with England. How's that racial commentary received in the UK?
To be honest, like I approach a lot of things with a bit more nuance rather than black people do this, white people do this. That's the dated approach to that type of material. For me, I speak about my black experience. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I won't sugarcoat. It's different for you guys, but not in a way where I need you to, I'm lecturing you and you was responsible for slavery. Like, it's a heavy approach to doing those type of things where I will never shy away from who I am and where I'm from. Do you know what I mean? And I think that unapologetic approach gets people one side. And I'm not really just trying to beat people over the head in conversations.
But do white people struggle to laugh at it when you do that pylon? Or is it a safe space comedy? They get it. Like, say that English people, is there any of that uncomfortable?
I think people who would be like that wouldn't come to my show.
Okay.
So that's probably what skews my perspective when I say I travel up and down the country. I am myself. I speak the same stuff in front of both crowds and I don't get those type of pushbacks. Do you know what I mean? I think people kind of know what I'm about. Through my podcast, I don't shy away from the racial conversations because I'm just like, it's real life. You can't pretend that we live in this utopia where this doesn't happen. So let's do the real. And because that's my frequency, people kind of meet me where I'm at.
This is a proper crazy question I'm going to ask you.
Hit me, bro.
What do you prefer, black rooms or white rooms?
I think it's wild. I probably do more white rooms these days, but as far as preference, I don't really have one anymore. I used to just love black rooms because it's home. Like, first 8 years of my career, I would only do black circuit. I've been going 15 years now and I do both. Do you know what I mean? Or whatever's available. I just fill my diary with whatever bookings. And before, it was a big thing. Before the show, I'd just be like, what type of crowd is out there? And then I'll be like, okay, cool. Then I know what I'm going to go with. Whereas now, I don't feel like that at all. I got something for everybody. I just know that. And if it's not a thing for everybody, I'm cool. Like, my audience it's about building my tribe. So,
do you feel like to be a credible, like, say that critically acclaimed or whatever it may be called, comedian, you need to be able to do both? Because I feel like in England, you need to be able to do both if you want to reach those heights.
Yeah.
Because it's impossible without the white room.
Yeah.
But does that like, do you give a man ratings for being able to do that? Because sometimes a man can go and do the white rooms, like you're saying, change their whole voice.
Yeah.
And it's not who you is, not what you know. And there might be a part of you that, okay, cool, I respect your success and there, but the whole craft, I don't really rate this. I don't really rate you. Or is there a part of, nah, he's done it. credit where it's due. Hats off to him.
I'll just say, good luck to you. You done it your way. Well done. My approach is, because I've kind of signed this contract with myself, and this kind of came about through therapy, where it's like, I don't want to put on a mask for anybody anymore. So I'm having uncomfortable conversations with family a lot of the time now, because it's like, these are my perspectives. This is what I'm on, and this is the frequency I'm on. So with that into stand-up, I go into every room as myself.
Yeah.
And I trust my skills to let me land on my feet. If it is a case where it doesn't work, I'm at peace with that. So that's why I'm like, I'm cool with the stakes of, let me go into this room here. I'm going to have this conversation. I'm going to speak like this. This is my story, and I'm not going to switch it up. That means my writing has to get better. So that's what's made me want to travel the world, because I'm like, okay, cool. London, UK, other cities, that's one thing. But can you go to the States and connect with people? Can you go to Spain or Sweden or Norway, performing in Denmark, or like all these places? And now I'm realizing the authentic energy does translate regardless. As long as you understand English, we'll find a vibe.
That's dope. Do you ever have any beef in your family?
In my family? Oh, yeah.
That story's not, that needs to come out. That's not making it. This, obviously you're married. I don't know how deep you go into your personal stories or whatever, but is there, as his wife ever sat down and be like, Travis, man, what are we doing here?
Nah, not really. Not really, because you know what it is, I won't put my loved ones in a position where they're getting laughed at in a way that they won't like. But I will put them mad.
Create good moments though.
No, what I'm as in just my natural instinct with my pen, I won't really put them on blast like that.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying? But certain times, if it's gonna happen, they're gonna have to hold it. But I'll have a little chat. Like I had a joke about my brother getting beat years ago when I was doing beating jokes when I first started, and I can't remember the punch now, but can't even get into it. But I remember he was coming to a show, and I was saying to him, all right, before I run this joke, let me just let you hear it and just so you're cool. And he's like, oh, no, run it. Trust me, I'm not sensitive like that. But I thought, let me just give you that just in case. Because I've been in the audience and my mum's doing big beating jokes, and I'm there looking at this thinking, right, man was doing the holy cry when you beat me there. But it's mad.
No, that's sick. Do you think obviously everybody always wants to evolve in that, but do you think that you've changed a lot since
I started?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely, man. Like I've been doing this since I was 21, 37 now. And it's that thing of like the journey of me going from a look. It's like I look at old pictures of myself skinny with braids on stage, and I'm like, look at myself now, and I'm like, yeah, I've literally gone from a boy to a man, literally telling jokes the whole way. The process has been nice, but it's that moment where you stop and look back and go, rah, a lot has happened here, fam. Do you know what I mean? And there's been marks where you kind of have to check yourself and be like, right, I've been in this entertainment space for a lot of my life. And it's not the most safe space to develop in. Yeah. So you've got to really stay on top of the things that you're allowing in, consuming, and the culture, and how much of your identity you let this thing become. So, yeah.
If you had to describe yourself, or give us like a description of you as a comedian, then,
yeah, and
now, what would that be?
Then I think there was seeds of potential for who I was gonna be. Do you know what I mean? Like I looked at my jump off performance the other day randomly, and like I got some jokes in there where I'm talking about black on black crime and how that's reported in the media. And I looked at that joke and just the stance I was taking, I was just like, the heart of who I was trying to become was present in this type of material, but the execution and the layers that I would be willing to go wasn't there. So it's like I look at that person, I'm like, there was definitely some scratching on the surface of quite a bold comic, daring to be different, because a lot of comics at that time weren't trying to really, especially in my class, weren't really talking about those type of things. Whereas today, now, I can see how that person became this person. So I'm kind of glad that I still recognize me in both of those. But today I'm a lot more daring, a lot more complete, a lot more stubborn in who I am. And I'm willing to go through the smoke if that's what's required.
Okay, that's dope. What does this tour represent to you as far as like a milestones in your career and stuff?
Do you know what? This is like, it's capping off easily the best year of my career so far. Like, started this year off with the BBC sitcom Rum Punch. There's an announcement coming for that soon. And, you know, going straight into Supercell, traveling more than I've ever traveled, performing out in LA, and then ending this year with a tour. That's like a complete year for how I want my career to look like, just scaled up, bigger venues and all that type, bigger productions. But for me, it's like, these are the type of years I want to have with my career. And I'm glad that it's taken 15 and a half years to get here, because I like the fact that my story can represent someone who's done it the hard way, brick by brick, and not the overnight, suddenly I'm up now. Because I think people need to hear that, who are on the come up, that, brother, it might not happen next year or the year after that, but keep working, perfecting your craft. I've worked with people like, you know, Open for Chappelle, and like, do you know what I mean? The guy was giving me compliments on my material, and we're having conversations comic to comic. And I'm just there like, this is an unreal moment to be a part of. I can go to a LA comedy club and meet certain people, like performing at Chocolate Sundays. That club is owned by a guy called Pookie, right? Pookie's helped set Heartbeat Productions up with Kevin Hart. So when he's got to give me the green light to say, okay, cool, you can get up, our senior staff is decent, go out and da-da-da-da-da, you'd be like, my work is mattering. The years I've put in, they're adding up. And I think that story in this day and age, I'm glad to represent that story and that fight for my career. So yeah, man, very grateful, very excited for the possibility of the future.
Do you put a lot of pressure on yourself regarding personal goals, or are you like a go with the flow kind of guy? What I mean is, this tour's coming up.
Yeah.
Do you live in the moment and do the tour and then sit back and then see what you came, or are you driven and focused? Are there personal things that you actually want to achieve on the tour? Like, do you have personal goals and things that you want to hit? Like, I don't know. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I think for me, it's a case of just putting on a great show. Like, I want people to rate my show. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to be the one that says, oh, I sold X amount of tickets, so it was a success. I want people to sit down and go, this was brilliant. That's the standard I try to aim for every time. So for me, I know I'm giving 100%. If I get to the end and we fell short of that, I can be at peace and know that I've given an attempt. Next time we go again. But the pressure in terms of that element, I think following my mum, Angela Ma, into this world, the pressure's always been on. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've always been following her footsteps, and little goal, like milestones that she's hit, I've got those on my list. America is one of them. She's gone to America, you know, and she would have moved to America. A lot of people don't really know this. And she was pregnant with me and decided to be based here and live this life. So it's almost like, in a way, I kind of owe it to her to push that US journey, because this feels attached to the legacy. And one thing about me is that I don't run from legacy in the vein of, oh no, I'm Travis J, like, separate me from her, da-da-da-da. No, I like to know that and be proud of the fact that I stand on great shoulders. Do you know what I mean? She's a pioneer of comedy in this country, that class. I want to honor that with my journey and how I move forward. It's always going to be a part of my story, but I love it. And that's the part where I'm like, honoring her and the legacy that's gone before with the great comedians that are past, and pushing it as far as I can go. That's what drives me. That's what really motivates me more than anything. And it's like getting to a point now where I'm maturing a bit more in my comic journey. I'm starting to look out and care about what younger comics are experiencing on their come up. Because I feel like if this journey doesn't help the next era kind of push this thing further, then the value over time starts to slip away in my estimation. And that's kind of, you know what I mean?
Would you be filming this as a special?
Yeah.
And then where would you do you like shop that around to networks, or you go YouTube route? I see everybody doing it on YouTube thing and just pop in. Like.
My last one was on YouTube. I mean, this one around, we'll see where it lands. We'll do the best we can. Worst case scenario, it goes out however it goes out. Do you know what I mean? I'm always just like, if this is the one that gets me to the next level, then maybe it needs to go out on YouTube. But at this point, like, I'm just documenting my work and making sure that we just keep on building the archive. Because I think a lot of older comics like that come before, they didn't document their work. So a lot of our stories about how great these guys were is a lot of hearsay. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I could talk about nights where Kwaku shut down Hackney Empire, like raucous, bam, 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 like people going mad, and it wasn't recorded. Do you know what I mean? And it's a story that I'm telling, and you know what I mean? So those little things, do you know what I mean? So that's why I'm just like, document everything and let it go. That's
lit, man. I need to get some of these dates, some of these London dates, man. Is the
TDA,
the TDA family welcome?
Yeah. Pull up, man. November 23rd is happening at Earth Theatre in Hackney. It's gonna be a night, man. It's gonna be a night. I can't wait. Cannot wait.
That's dope, man. We're looking forward to it, man. You gonna be there, Brent?
100%.
Any more for any more?
Northampton too. I'm gonna go to Northampton too.
Oh, is it?
Okay,
I'm
sick.
gonna be in the area.
Sick.
All right then. Did we have a question left
As in,
from our last guest and stuff?
I think they left it, but didn't he put it in a document? Wasn't it Sace?
Was Sace our last guest?
I think so. Or, yeah, he was. Or was it Messiah? Oh. It's not a document?
I'm looking. Sorry, Travis. 1 second.
It's all good, bro.
Gin and Gist.
Oh, okay. I think I have seen one. Is this the right one? Our last guest asked a question. What have you done for your community lately?
That could be.
Just making sure it's the right one. Well, we'll say it. So yeah, our last guest left a question for you.
Okay.
They want to know, what have you done for your community lately?
Interesting question. What have I done for my community lately? You say Supercell? Supercell, fam. Nah, that's an easy one. I think on my podcast, right? So we've got 2 podcasts, Expect Foolishness. And on that podcast, we really do talk about like the real graft behind the scenes in the industry. In a way that's not really kind of just commonly out there. A lot of people are kind of comfortable letting it look like everything's going fantastic and da-da-da-da-da. But on that podcast, me and KG, we have some real transparent conversations about how rough this grind actually is. And I met this guy at my show just last week, actually, in Box Park. This guy come up to me, he's a poet, and he's like, yo, bro, just want to say, man, it's like, I'm on a come up right now. I'm not really where I want to be, but he goes, bro, the way you, man, talk and you really sow the seeds in terms of what the industry's been like over these years. He goes, it does so much for me. Like, you don't understand. He's like, I'm hungry. I'm not where I want to be yet, but you guys give me that added motivation to really believe I can get there. So that, for me, I feel like it's a good contribution to the artistic side of the community. And yeah, it's the best answer I can give right now.
That's good. Just quickly, Davina wants to know, your sketch show, is it going to make it to TV?
My sketch show?
Yeah.
Well, the announcement, we're in the process of, like I mentioned last time, going for the radio sitcom concept was a part of a longer journey. We've definitely taken a step forward. The announcement will kind of shine light on that going forward. But yeah, I'm very excited about the possibilities of this project. Absolutely. But I can't say much more than that right now.
Okay, cool. And you have to leave a question for our other guest, Brent. Take notes, please. Yes.
Okay. As your journey goes forward, what are you doing to protect your mind, body, and spirit on your way?
I like that.
Answer that question, Mark.
As my journey goes forward, what am I doing to protect my mind, body, and spirit on the way? Prayer, man. Just getting closer to God.
Amen.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know why Brent's smiling. I don't know why Brent is smiling. Was that not a good answer?
It's such a cookie cutter response. We know that you do not pray. What? He's being serious with that question,
I was being serious with my answer. You said don't know that I'm in my book. You are sick.
He said Psalms 91, fam.
You think all these blessings are just bestowed upon me for no reason? God
real.
did it.
That's real.
I'm here by the grace of God only, alone. I don't know why man's laughing.
Malta next week, yeah.
Nothing wrong with little sin.
Oh my days. Diabolical, fam. God's watching this content thinking, yes, Mike.
Look at him. Always mess it up.
Hey, watch him ask for forgiveness later on. This guy, brother.
We can't do that's a bit pressure to do the tell us something no one knows twice. Isn't it?
Nah, 100%. He's been living life since then. Something else might have cropped up. 100%.
All right then.
100%.
Tell us something no one knows about you, man. Is our last 2 final questions?
No one knows about me. You know. Something that no one knows about me. Why is this question so hard? God, this is mad.
It could be trivial.
Just random nonsense.
Yeah, don't have to be. No pressure here.
Yeah, now man goes, Like, it's gonna sound dumb. My sleeping habits are diabolical. Probably averaging going to bed at like 2:30 in the morning, waking up mad early to do the school run, but like just operating on that shit.
That every day?
Most days, yeah, man.
So you probably function in about 4 hours.
Yes, it needs correcting.
I went through that. It's tough. At the moment, I'm probably on about 6.
It's mad because it's one of them ones where it's like, do you ever just feel like you're just missing out going to bed early?
Yeah.
It's dumb.
And I'm sitting up because I was like, no, it's too early. It's too early to go to bed. What's going to happen now between 10 and midnight? Like, allow it, you idiot. Like, there's nothing going on. It's like, no, it's too early. Yeah.
Let me check the TL.
You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know what I'm going to miss. Or yeah, no, that's crazy.
It's childish. And the thing is, I'll go sleep early and wake up feeling good next day and be like, right, man, I should do this more often.
But my thing is, I can't go sleep too early though. If I fell asleep at like 9, 10 o'clock, I'm up 1, 2. And then I'm messing and it's broken sleep.
That's because you're getting old though. You know your body don't need sleep like that. How old are you, fam?
39.
Oh, you know, yeah, okay.
I mean,
I thought he was a bit older still. I was ready to hear a 40 something.
No.
Say no more, bro.
40th is next year. I'm going to invite you.
Okay, cool.
Big shindig.
Little Cindy sincere.
Ain't gonna be no problem.
Who were you like kind of surprised with the most, or not surprised? Who were you in awe of the most in regards to how they delivered their performance on Superstar?
There's a couple people, man. So I say Gets first, right? And Gets is someone I'm a massive fan of. Like, it's weird because I take inspiration from my comedy journey from a lot of grime artists. Do you know what I mean? Like, Cadet at one point was someone I'd just be so tapped in. Like, his hunger to try to make it was just, that really just like lit a fire in my spirit, man. And Gets for the integrity of being himself regardless. Like, his energy for me has probably been like one of the most inspiring factors just in terms of stick true to your own voice. Forget the noise. Do your thing. Stay true to what you're on and it will work in the end. First day of the reading, I go straight over to him and I'm like, brother, I have to tell you, you are huge inspiration to me. Like, for me, I never let those moments pass. If I'm in the room with someone I rate, straight over to him. And Gets is a funny guy still because we're talking and he's like, I hear that. And I'm standing there and it's like, it's time for him to speak. And he goes, I don't like when men are taller than me, you know. I'm like, wait, I don't know what to do with that, bro. I can't change that, bro. But yeah, no.
That's the thing, I say that, me being my height I am, yeah, if I stand next to someone and they're taller than me, yeah, I do not like it. This is not, it's like, it feels like you're trying to impose yourself on me or something like that. It's like, what are you doing? Why black up, man?
Yeah. Because I'm thinking, right, like, I'm giving man his ratings and he's looking at me and I feel the sizing up. It's like, brother, I don't like this, But yeah, no, Gets' performance was cold. I thought that was sick. And another one, Eric was amazing. I'm a big fan of Eric anyway. And then Calvin.
He's cold.
Calvin Dembo played Rodney. Bruv, we sat next to each other when we did the table read, right? First time round. And it's mad because you sit down and do those table reads and it feels like a formality on the way and we're just reading it so that the room can hear it and we can make any changes. Rapman comes over to me and goes, yo, man, just letting you know, bro, like, really go hard today, yeah? Because some people have lost their roles after a bad table read. I'm like, oh, snap. So this is high stakes. This is real. So now I'm like, okay, cool. I'm sitting there and, we start kind of like halfway through the series and then we go back to the beginning. But I'm sitting next to Rodney's character and he's doing the emotional scene with his storyline. And as his scene is approaching, yeah, he's a method actor, right? Method actors, sometimes their men roll up as their character. So you're there thinking you're talking to Calvin. Nah, bro, he's Rodney in this moment. So he's sitting there and as his scene is approaching, I'm hearing him like sobbing and crying next to me. And I kind of just look over there just to be like, oh, is it like, bro, tears are coming down this guy's face as he's preparing for his scene. And I'm looking at him, I'm thinking, oh, you're real. Like, you're different. This was a crash course into what this level looks like for me. So straight away, I'm patting up. Oh, I'm acting my arse off in this chair. But,
I was crying now.
I'm like, what? Swear down. Brother, rob the trap house, my guy. So I'm like, you think I'm losing the role at the table? Dog, afterwards, I'm shaking every hand in the room, boy. How you doing? Nice to meet you. remember me, obviously. Yeah, no, that was a wicked moment. But their performances, like, and Tosin Cole, how could I forget Tosin, man? They did so many people impressed me, man. Like Tuzi from the Tower Boys.
Okay, yeah.
Bro, we saw the first episode after the screen, and I sent him a DM. I said, brother, bro, like, I operate in the comedy space, yeah. Your thing, your character, your comedy timing, you're up there with the best of them, fam. Like, your thing's gonna go. And I was just, everyone's like a family at this point. So at this point, I'm just so glad to see everybody win and have big moments and get the big comeback, the big support. It's just awesome, man. So yeah, bro, salute to Rap, man. Created something special. And yeah, bro, people delivered, man.
That's dope, man. I think we need to have another like British film renaissance, man. We need people just writing and directing their own shit.
It's real.
Don't worry about the budgets and that for now, man. Let's just
Get it done.
Let's get it done, man. Let's get the craft and get the writing and get the stories and tell the stories and that. There's loads of good little actors and there's bare dope man just running around doing
Trust
their
me.
thing. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, and they just need more platforms for them to thrive. You get what I'm trying to say?
100%, bro.
Yeah,
100%.
Our last question is piece of advice out there for anybody.
The advice I'd say, do it for the love of the craft. Like, there's a lot of other exciting factors in this game. Do you know what I mean? There's the wish of going viral and it blowing up quick and all that kind of stuff and kind of skipping steps. But I'll say do it for the love of the craft, because there does come a time where you're all under the lights and you either see that you're real or you get exposed. And that mindset for me comes because of, sporting backgrounds like boxing specifically. You get some boxers who get fast tracked and they get to miss out on the tough opponents and they get a nice smooth route to being a world champ. And then you get another brother who's gone through the crazy amateur route, 400 amateur fights, and don't really know him too tough, but he's got your number and he will do you. And I just look for those moments in life where I'm just like, I want to be ready. So when that moment comes under the lights and it's time to shine, I've done my job. So for me, I always say, whatever it is you're doing in your life, do it for the love of the craft. And I feel like the laws of the universe are so hard work will pay off.
All right, then. That was great news, man. Now we've come to the end of a great interview, man.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Always a pleasure, man.
Guys, get your tickets, travisj.co.uk, and hopefully I'll see you guys on tour.
Yeah, man. Definitely. travisj.co.uk. Make sure you get those tickets. Make sure you run up to the socials. They're going across the bottom of the stream. IG's TravisJ ENT.
Go.
We got this, man.
Calm.
It's a celebration.
IG.
Big up.
Thanks for having me, man.
All right, cool. Love. Let's get into our last headlines.
I got bare clips though.
You say you got bare clips, yeah?
Yeah. Later. Keep good.
You think you got some good ones there?
Yeah.
All right,
I
then.
just realized I had another. You know how there's a tick at the bottom. When it shows like information.
Yeah.
I had hundreds of SCN kids missing from school. Just going across the bottom, but they tied it to me.
No way.
I tied it to me. He'd appreciate it. He's a comedian.
Boy, the people got to know, man.
Yeah. All right. Last headlines.
Yeah, I'm gonna promote it. Don't worry. Our last headlines is, well, you know about them because Brent was eager to tell you. Hundreds of SCN kids missing from school. Report. Hundreds of kids with special education needs are completely missing from education in England, analysis suggests. Children with SCN make up 22% of the 2,900 children not enrolled at school or being suitably educated elsewhere, which is disproportionately high, as 16% of children in state education have SCN, the report says. Children's Commissioner Dame Rachel de Souza, who produced it, said provisions for children with SCN was the number one thing that needs sorting out alongside attendance to make sure our kids can go to school. The Department for Education said the report showed there were far too many children falling through the cracks. Trigger warning here, guys. Hamas says Israeli strikes kill 40 in Gaza safe zone. So at least 40 people have been killed in southern Gaza and dozens more injured in Israeli strikes on the designated humanitarian zone, the Hamas-run Civil Defense Authority has said. The Israeli military said its aircraft attacked an operations center in Khan Yunis belonging to Hamas fighters, and it had taken steps to mitigate risk of harming civilians. Local residents said 3 strikes targeted tents housing displaced people in the humanitarian zone of Al-Masawi, west of the city of Khan Yunis, causing 7-meter deep craters. 40 people were killed and more than 60 injured, while many are still under the rubble. Eyewitnesses told the BBC large explosions rocked the Al-Masawi area shortly after midnight, and flames could be seen rising into the sky. It's crazy. And our last headline of the day is about Mel B, and she's among some of the Britons taking the fight against afro hair discrimination to Parliament. The Labour MP, Paulette Hamilton, and singer Mel B are among leading Britons urging parliamentarians to make the UK the first Western country to introduce a law to end afro hair discrimination. The World Afro Day campaign has written an open letter to MPs calling on them to vote for the recognition and prevention of afro hair discrimination by updating the Equality Act of 2010 to make afro hair a protected characteristic. The letter has been signed by 100 campaigners and supporters, including the singer Beverly Knight, writer and campaigner Patrick Hutchison, singer and presenter Fleur East, school leader Evelyn Ford MBE, and Professor Patrick Vernon OBE. It warns that the omission of hair as a protected characteristic from the law has facilitated everyday discrimination and normalisation of afro hair as inferior in every sphere of life. And time to pay more bills.
Before we move on, Mr. James Earl Jones passed.
Oh, R.I.P. James Earl Jones, man.
93 years old. He lived a life.
Keep on
A
living,
full
keep
life.
on living.
He was Darth Vader, innit?
Yeah. Nah, that's a great loss, man. He's a great man. 1931. So what, in his pomp, it would have been in 45, 50. Imagine, like, that's why old people got so much wisdom and knowledge. Imagine just he lived through the 50s, innit? Like, as a teenager, he's old enough to remember shit. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, life would have changed so much.
I got a take.
Go on.
I reckon our generation, the most blessed.
What, because for the time that we live in?
We can still look fondly at the greats of the past, the greats. And when I say look fondly, we could even like listen to music, enjoy the art, watch the movies back in the day, and still like, oh, that's good. It's good stuff, right? And we can recall on aspects of history like that, right? And we have lived through the birth of the internet, kind of, right?
Definitely.
Not even kind of, fully.
We have, yeah.
Right?
The internet
And
age.
we can traverse and travel like that particular space, just like the Gen Zs and the younger ones. We can still understand their language. Some of it's changes mad, crazy, but we're still old enough to be like, all right, cool. That's a bit crazy based on how it was. You know, we all like to talk about the past, this, that, next. But we have it in our head, right? And we can compare it to what's here right now. And you're currently seeing that the world is going in a particular way where those who just grew up born in this particular internet age, they don't know how to survive outside of that. And you're seeing there's a possibility where that internet age can be stopped. When you're now thinking about cyber war and proper destabilizing an entire nation, you're talking about going for their comms, just mashing it up, right? And how would they fare when it's mashed up? Because all they know is that their head is in their phone 24/7. They don't look up. And they don't look up like that. But we do. Do you understand? And we still have enough energy in our bones to basically survive what comes next.
We'll definitely be better equipped, but we'll almost be equally as screwed.
We unscrew it, and that's not my point. We can get that whole. Yeah, I appreciate mumble rap.
Yeah,
It's the vibes and it's the liquor and the scissor.
But you can appreciate Rakim.
and you can still understand the value of where it came from. Not where it came from, because that's not where it came from. Mumble rap is not where rap is not where mumble rap came from, right? It's the degeneracy of the whole drinking culture and the running towards lasciviousness.
That's a degeneracy. It's just a different day and age.
Yeah, don't worry about that. It's not my focus. Not my focus. So we're in that sweet spot where if tomorrow ends, that tomorrow is the end, we'll be able to basically say, all right, we're taking control of the ship, and the young ones are gonna follow us like sheep.
Yeah, they have to, because
they don't know where they're going.
They didn't go to scouts.
You didn't go to scouts, but you can survive. You went to you were in the trenches. You were in guns.
This generation is sick. We're living through that. This technological advancements that we're living through. It's definitely the biggest.
The jumps and leaps have been crazy.
Yeah, definitely the most important part. Well, I won't say most important part, because obviously I feel like history is important. What we done before to how we got here is really, really important. And if you don't take the first step, you can't take the second one. But this is a serious part of human history. What we're living through.
First consumer computer.
Yeah, no, it's different. But at the time, people would have felt like that in their respective eras.
First iPhone.
Industrial revolution.
I don't know. I hear the argument, but you can still appreciate the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
You can still appreciate those vestiges of the past. Because you're a historian, right? You can still appreciate that. You can still say, it used to be better in the old days. Not that you ever lived it. But you can take those particular principles from there and say, if we did abide by this particular core tenet, we would be great. The young people can't do that. Well, they can if it is that they read like that. But I'm not even suggesting they don't read. But you know what I'm saying? They don't understand Marvin Gaye. They're not drawing for them type of tunes. When you're saying, listen to these slow jams.
So you're saying the millennials are in the sweet spot?
The sweetest spot, because if you talk to certain people, like in our lifetimes, that's when Christ is returning. Hey, the red heifers. For a second.
I see what you've done there. He's so dumb, you know. It's sick though. We're old enough to know things and young enough to be hip to what's going on.
100%. And we can still see what is, if we adopt that, that'd be detrimental for anybody. But the young ones are like, no. And then they get there like, crap, I cut it off. I shouldn't have.
I get into the press the reaction button. Press it right now.
What a got injured.
Bloody hell, you can't help. Welcome to the reaction, people, where I read out the sports headlines in the international break, but they're still playing games. Apparently yesterday there was games on, I'll tell you about it. Kosovo beat Cyprus 4-0. France beat Belgium 2-0. Italy beat Israel 2-1. Israel's still playing football. Wales beat Montenegro 2-1.
You said Israel still playing football? What are you talking about? Isn't Ukraine still playing football?
Are they? I thought they chilled.
Is it?
Oh no,
they won the
Euros. Yeah, okay, cool. For real. I just figured they got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah?
That. I don't know. Norway beat Austria 2-1. Romania beat Lithuania 3-1. Slovenia beat Kazakhstan 3-0. And Turkey beat Iceland 3-1. I've got a few headlines here, and we're really clutching at straws, because listen to this headline. Jordan Mason leads the San Francisco 49ers to victory over the Jets in Aaron Rodgers' return. This is the sports show, and we do need to cover all sports, and NFL is a sport, so we will be covering it, even though I don't know much about it like that. I don't really watch it. Oh, here we go. What's this?
Have you seen this throw? Anthony Richardson, 60-yard dime to Alec Pierce.
Let's see it.
Chijoke sent it through in the Discord.
Oh, Chijoke NFL man as well. Oh, he's unstoppable.
Okay.
First and
There he
10.
is, yeah.
Pressure's coming. Richardson slips. Now he's airing it out deep down the field for Pierce. Pierce.
That was crazy.
Touchdown!
That was crazy.
What a throw by
You see these
Richardson.
man, yeah? I know that just looks like he just hoofed it up there, yeah, but he didn't. Like, you gotta understand, he didn't. Like, that went exactly where he wanted it to go. And look at him in the pocket underneath all that pressure. The defensive line done good there to buy that time for him. You know what? I like NFL. I can't lie, but I stopped watching years ago. I only do Super Bowl now. I used to watch it, but it's long now, man. NBA only. Big up them. So look, Aaron Rodgers returned from injury, but the San Francisco 49ers defeated the New York Jets 32-19 on Monday night. Undrafted running back Jordan Mason had a career-high 147 rushing yards and a touchdown for the 49ers. Brock Purdy threw 231 yards without a touchdown or turnover for San Francisco. Rodgers threw 167 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception in his first game back since suffering a season-ending injury last year. The 49ers took control of the game in the second half with a field goal and Mason's touchdown run. And our last headline is about the Formula One. Aston Martin are set to sign legendary designer Adrian Newey after the Red Bull exit. So legendary Formula One designer Adrian Newey is set to join Aston Martin in 2025 after leaving Red Bull. Newey, known for designing championship-winning cars, will work with two-time world champion Fernando Alonso. Aston Martin aims to improve its performance with Newey's expertise, having fallen behind the Constructors' Championship. Honda will supply power units to Aston Martin from 2026, aligning with Alonso's belief in its team's future project. Newey's move to Aston Martin keeps him in the UK, while joining Ferrari would have required relocation to Italy. That is the end of our sports news.
So, hot take. What do you think? Do you think we capitulate with us not having Odegaard?
Say that again?
Did you see it?
That Odegaard's injured?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that. I was talking about that. I was talking about it yesterday, and Paul was telling me he's not injured. You've potentially missed out 7 players from this North London derby, you know? Let me see if I can work my way through them. Moreno's injured. Zinchenko's injured?
I don't think so.
Isn't he? Let me see. Let me work my way through this, yeah. Timber's potentially injured.
No.
Rice is suspended.
He came back.
Odegaard's injured.
He played for his national team.
Oh, did Timber play?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's potentially, so it's not there. Okay, then, so there's another injury I've got. Moreno's injured.
Tomiyasu?
That's who it is. So Moreno's injured. Tomiyasu's injured. Odegaard's injured. Rice is suspended. Gabby's injured. Yeah? So it's 5 then. Any more? You say Timber's fit? There might have been another one, you know. It's not Trossard. Is it Trossard? No. There might be another one, Brent. 5 is enough. Does that make a difference?
A derby's a derby.
Yeah.
It is going to make a difference, but I'm not sure if it's going to be... Our defense is still our defense. And we still have game changers. Got still in.
Is a midfield without Declan Rice in it, with Declan Rice and Odegaard, can they get hold of Sarr and Basuma? Sarr's cold, you know. I don't think a lot of people know that Sarr's very good, to get me. Them man, they've got legs, you get what I'm saying? They could not have a field day in there. Obviously, Partey will still be in there. Jorginho will play. He ain't really got legs, but in possession...
He has no legs.
He don't have legs, no. In possession, he can do his thing, no. I don't know, man. It's tough. Where is it? Where is it?
I think it's at... I want to say Tottenham.
Spurs at Tottenham.
I want to say that, yeah. Hold on.
But you have beat them there your last 2 times, though, innit?
Yeah.
Last 2 times you've gone there and smacked them.
Yeah.
Spurs ain't ready for you, lot, man. They was flirting, but Spurs ain't ready for you, man. Spurs ain't ready, man. I think you lot do it, even with the missing players, man. I think you lot get it done, man. What, you worried?
I'm never worried with Tottenham. That's not the feeling I go into any North London derby games with. Sorry. It's just that I care more about what happens after.
Okay.
Is Odegaard out for a while? Yeah, that was the question I was looking for.
Well, no, but obviously it's after's cool, but now we've got to deal with what's in front of you. You lose this game, you're out the title race.
What did you say? What did you just say? What did you just say?
If you lose this game,
That doesn't even make any sense.
okay.
Sorry, is United out the title race?
What now? We've never in it.
So is it out?
Of course.
All right, okay.
There's no chance United win the title this season. 2 losses in your first 3. Man City, in the levels that they're setting, even the way Arsenal's been playing the past 2 seasons, what would make you think you could think it? Yeah, they're out of it. That dropping points against Brighton was risky. I think if it was 3 points, you would have been out of the title race already. But because you got a point, you just stuck. You just stayed in it. You know what I'm saying? But if you lose to Spurs, I think you could be out of it already, man. I don't know. And then after that, you got City, innit?
We're at Spurs.
Huh?
We're at Spurs.
Yeah, Spurs. And then after that, you're at City, innit?
We got a run of tough games, 100%.
Well, you say that, it's just a 2. I don't know who you got after City. I'm not sure. I ain't seen your fixtures. But what's that? 3, 4, 5. Oh, could be over, man. It could be over in a couple of weeks.
Yeah?
Could be done. What do you think? Yeah, Curtis Jackson said I'm right, man. You're already 2 points behind City, man. It's fine margins. 5 points behind in 4 matches.
Sorry, what are you saying? Who's what?
Arsenal are out of the title race if you lose the game.
Such silliness.
You can't afford to drop points against Spurs, so have it right. How did we get here anyway? It's 11:30.
Yeah, then City, then it's Leicester, then it's
Atalanta away in the middle of all of that. Oh, God.
then it's Bournemouth. Yeah, so I'm confident. I'm confident going into the Tottenham game. I'm confident going into the City game too.
I bet you are.
Tell you, it's changed my disposition. Yeah, consistency, man. Which is great.
All right. Well, Ed, Arsenal and City are 2 different animals, man. Well, but we'll see what happens, man, on the weekend, man. I got no done here today, Brent. Let's wrap up. We had a great show today. What was we talking about in our headlines? Our Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, is looking for support from Labour to back the winter fuel cuts. Keir Starmer is trying to kill old people. We had a topic of the day was about why are people so afraid of change, and we spoke to Travis J. He helped us along with that. Make sure you go and check that out. That was a good segment. In other news, sad news, trigger warning, horrible news. A police officer has been found guilty for sexually assaulting an underage child with some bonfire on him. I'm glad that's happening. There was no word or roll of people joining today because it was just me in the building. There was also no asking for a friend, but we had a dope interview with Travis J, so make sure you go and check that out. And our last headline was about hundreds of special education needs children missing from school in England. We're trying to sort that out, trying to fix that. So yeah, all in all, it was a good day. We went into the reaction. Odegaard's injured. He's going to miss the derby. Horns, Brent. And that was it. And that was it, man. We had a great day, man. Any more for any more, Brent?
James, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, James, man. Honestly.
And that is it. It was a fantastic conversation, and we shall see you tomorrow.
Same time, same place, man. We're dead.
Later.
Peace.